Hi. Hi. Very good. Right. So before I start, you know what I'm taking? Which subject am I taking? No. What nonsense. It's auditing and ethics. I asked which subject am I taking? It's auditing and ethics. Right. Now before I start the subject, few questions and few things that I want to know about you and I want to tell about me before I begin my class. Shall we? Yes. How many of you have heard about this subject? Apart from those who have already known about this subject, how many of you are knowing this subject for the first time? What are the rumors you have heard about? No, tell me the rumors. Your generation rumors is exciting. Yes, very difficult. Need more revisions. Theory. You have to write the exact thing. Then it's a theory subject, too much theory. Very hard subject. Okay. Words to remember, exact words to remember. Then nobody told you in group 2 if there is one subject which will not give you good vibes is audit. Huh? Teacher is not like that, okay? Don't compare the subject vibe with the teacher vibe, okay? Right, difficult to remember, failing in this, sir. Correct, absolutely. All whatever you have heard is a rumor. Because I asked you what rumors you have heard. Clear? None of them are facts. Number 1. Number 2. If I'll ask you a question to answer this second point. You know a Karela?
Yes, sir.
What do you call it in Kannada? Hagalkai. In Hindi? Yeah, 36 hours. Tell me. Karela only. No, I was just checking if you are aware in the class. Right? Now, if I give you this Hagalkai and I'll tell you very sweet like sugar, will you believe? Why? Because you have tasted it, and since you have tasted it, you know how it tastes, right? How it feels. Did you try audit subject before?
No.
Then how can you come to a conclusion that it is a theory subject, difficult to remember? Didn't even study, but difficult to remember. That's why it's called rumors. And what you should do with rumors? Ignore. Until you have a first-hand experience of the subject, do not come to a conclusion. Clear? Why? You are judging something which you are not aware of. You judge others. That's inbuilt feature. Right? Happens, human nature. But judging a subject without knowing. Now, if I have a judgment on you without knowing you. And then later on, when I tell you that judgment, will you feel bad about it? Of course. Right? And if it's a good thing, no. Right? If it's a bad thing, you will feel bad about it. So let's not judge the subject. Let's go by what needs to be done for the subject. Number 3. Accounts has a language. No? No, really? Accounts has a language. Debtors, debit, credit, creditors, payable, cash and cash equivalents. It's a language. Law has a language. Where do you call decision? You call resolution. You don't call decision, right? Similarly, costing has a language. Yes, there is no difference. There is variance. There is no negative. There is adverse. There is no positive. There is favorable. Costing has a language. Tax has a language. Where do we call income? We don't call revenue. We call income there. Yes or no? Yes. We don't call person. We call SSE. Sounds like one good word. Ion in SSE. Yeah, we have a term there, right? If tax is paid, we don't, in tax only we have advance tax, self-assessment tax, income tax, demand tax, everything we'll have. We'll have so many different languages. Every subject has a language. Similarly, audit has a language. All you have to do is understand the language first. Here, just because you don't understand, that doesn't make subject difficult. The subject is like that only. For example, if I have to add to this concept, do you talk to your parents the same way you talk to your friends? Next day you have to find a PG. Why next day? That moment only. Yes or no? Now, going forward, if there is one, let's say, small kid in your neighborhood, not yours, neighborhoods. Do you talk to the kid in the same manner how you talk to your friends? Like, let's say you have a friend right next to you. You hit his head. In LA, you hit that kid also. No, no. In fact, you change your language when you're talking to the kid. Oh, what do you need? Language differs. Why? The kid has a language which it understands. Yes or no? Similarly, you have a language with your parents. You have a language with your friends. Everywhere you have different languages. Just like that, audit has a language. That language is what you need to understand and put it in the paper. It is humanly impossible to write 100% exact thing from ICAI module. For that, you have to become Chitty 3.0. Just scan and just paste it there. Not possible. Possible? Not possible. You think all of us cleared with 100% same to same copy paste? No, we haven't. But we know which point to trigger from the valuer's point of view. Are you getting my point? Now, when you go to a doctor, in our subject, no, doctor is a very important character. When you go to a doctor, every disease has a scientific name. Will he tell you scientific name? You don't know the general term only. How will you know scientific term? Yes or no? Lalbagh, if you go, every flower, every plant scientific name, do you know? No, they put a general term. In bracket, they put scientific term. Yes. So, similarly, in audit, there are some technical terms, but for which there is general meaning also. So, for understanding purpose, we'll understand through general meaning, but when you're writing, you'll write technical words. Clear? Next main important thing in this subject. There are some areas where it's called process. Clear? There are some areas where it's points, so you can jumble the points there, no issues. But wherever process is there, can you jumble the order? Imagine doctor, surgery has a process. There he jumbles in the examination. First he'll put stitches, then anesthesia. Process, no. So when it is a process, you can't change the order. But when it is not a process, it's just things to be covered. Then you can jumble the words. This is where students also go wrong. For them, everything is same. So they try to by heart every point, just go ahead and vomit there. And without understanding what is a process, what is not a process. Where I have to think it as a process, where I have to not think it as a process. And then your by hearting child comes out. Are you getting my point? So these are small things to take care, very little things to take care. And if we take care of the small things, obviously we will take care of the final exams. I mean, CA intermediate exams. That's your final exam, no? Right. Now, how many of you are purely from commerce background? Fine. How many of you are not from commerce background? Which background, ma? Science. Everyone? Arts? Very good. I'm from science background. So if you have a doubt, I am there. Sir, you're teaching for commerce background, but you're from science. I am from PCMC. Failed miserably. Proudly I'm telling, failed miserably. Entire year I have failed and I have no shame. Because if I had not failed there, no, I would still be a very bad computer engineer. Worst. If I had not failed there, I would still be there only. Since I failed there, I had to take a promise. Then I became a history student. Worse. My family history I don't remember. Someone in the history I have to remember. But still I had to. Because no other option, PUC base. Right? I had to do it. So nothing comes easy. Everything is easy. Everything is difficult. Just like if I put one black color glasses on your eyes, the world is black for you. If I put a yellow color glass, world is yellow for you. What is the problem? Eyes? No. Then the glasses is the problem. So we'll change the glass, that's it. People keep on putting rumors, difficult, theory, by hearting, not understanding, and you are letting them put that on your face. And when too many glasses are there, where can you see? There is no clarity. And when there is no clarity, there's confusion. And when there is confusion, you seek advice from those who gave you the confusion in the first place. So they are confused. They need a company. You are vulnerable. You join Jingalala. Clear? So right now only I'm telling you, subject is not difficult. Subject has a language. I'm not talking about the munna by subject thing. Subject, audit, has a language. We need to understand the language and we will go slowly till we get to know. And once we get to know the language, we can paste wherever possible. Fifth thing in audit. Do you prepare accounts as per your wish? No, no. Do you have a formula in accounts? Do you have a standards in accounts? Yes. Do you have standards in income tax also? Yes. ICDS is there. Do you have standards in costing? Some are doubtful, yes. Hereabouts are. Till here if you have come, there is something called as cost accounting standards. All your cost sheet format and all is based on cost accounting standards only. Similarly, audit has standards. Just like how all the other subject has standards, this also has standard, which means we all are built from standard. So we also need to have some standard. Why am I telling you this is because I had a conversation with one of the valuer long time back when I was a student. So I asked the same question which you had in your mind. So what if we write in our own words? Why don't they give marks? So he explained very beautifully saying, Karthik, imagine I give you marks today and tomorrow you become CA. And next day you're sitting next to me in a stage. Right? On a stage we're sitting next to each other. Imagine now you're talking in a general language and I'm talking in a professional language. What will audience feel? What will users feel? Literally, I've seen papers where they've written, audit means, like, this is how you write paper? A professional paper? No. So there's some language that we need to maintain. That language in answer sheet we will maintain. Word to word you cannot have. Clear? Wherever possible, we will be covering the technical language. And what you have to do, simple English, if you can use with this word, is good enough. Right? For example, let me just give you an example. When we talk about audit, there is a word called inquiry, asking questions. Now in audit, we don't say asking questions. In audit, we say professional skepticism. Not septic and all, skepticism. So we have this word. So wherever we are understanding, there's a concept called questioning mind. We use the word professional skepticism. These words, if you can understand and put it in the right place, puzzle is solved. Clear? In a puzzle, when you're solving, most important part is what you need to focus on. The side things will be covered easily. Understood? Next most important thing in this subject, don't just come to class, listen to my lecture, go home, sleep. You sleep, audit will also go to sleep. Because the subject is so volatile that you forget to revise, you give a day gap, 70% content gone. And now, next day, after a day when you're opening audit only, no? This is a new subject. That's the feeling the subject will give you. So the subject requires constant revision, cumulative revision as much as possible. You're writing a professional exam. This is not a BCom exam or a PUC exam where exam is there 1 week before exams. Sit with 5 years question paper. Go. Section C, Section D, pass marks done. Go ahead. Enjoy your BCom exams. Enjoy your PUC exams. Come and score distinction. Right? And that's not the standard we have to refer to. I have scored 90 there. I have scored 90 distinction in BCom. I have scored distinction in BCom without having any books. That doesn't mean I will score distinction in CA. Are you getting my point? Yes, I have scored 66 in PUC, but I have scored more marks in CA. Right? So, difficult, everything is difficult, everything is easy. It all depends on your process. So, we will always focus not on what we have to get, what we are supposed to do to get there. The moment you start taking these things right, we will automatically get there. Understood? Clear? Yes. Now, next requirement in my class, you should have a notebook. Okay. Now, what are we going to do in that notebook? Last few pages of the notebook, we are not keeping or reserving for playing X and O, flames, chuki, box game. We are not doing any of those. Clear? We will be writing some short forms, which we are going to use in the class as well as in your notes. But in the exam, no short forms allowed. You have to write the entire term. Clear? Yes. There is one more rumor, I don't know if you have heard. Every chapter talks similar things in audit. Every chapter sounds very same. It sounds same because objective is same. Objective of every chapter is same. And which is why the language sounds similar. But sounds similar and sounds same are two different things. Similar and same is not same but similar. This is how the language works. Clear? So we will be having baby steps in first few chapters, and once we get to know that, okay, you're good to go with this, then we will pace up slowly. Understood? Right. Now, before I start the definition, how many of you have done audit in your life? Raise properly. One. Only one? Only one? Two. Others? You have not done audit in your life. Such a liar you are. Liars. Green liars you are. You know why? You have done audit since your childhood. In fact, you have been a part of audit since your childhood, just that you don't know. 50% of the syllabus you know, you don't know what to call that. And I will expose all these things. You have done audit. First instance, in your childhood, didn't you go to a grocery store where your mom has given a list, nearby store, and 100 rupee or 200 rupee note she has given, go and get these things, right? You go to the store, right? There will be one shopkeeper there with one small helper, Chotu. You give the list to the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper will look at all the list and keep everything ready. As and when he is keeping things ready, he'll put a tick mark. Observed? Yes. And you are standing there in the shop observing Horlicks bottle, Maltova bottle, who is coming and drinking what? Cold drink. You're observing all these things. Now, after that, there will be this Chotu guy who will be counting how many items and giving the description to the owner. Owner will take one LKG fellow's notebook, tear it in one amoeba shape, and starts writing in the language he understands. Only the first two digits he'll write. Yes. And finally, when he totals, he uses a calculator as a secondary method. Right? Mental math. Mental means proper mental calculation I'm talking. Right? He'll put the total there. To verify that, he'll use the calculator. Now imagine your mother gave you 100 rupees. Okay? And the bill comes, let us say 95 rupees. 5 rupees on coin he'll give you. Okay? Now you saw one kid coming and eating one milk stick. Milk stick, you know milk stick? Pepsi, popsicle. Now you are craving for that. You have 5 rupees. Kid is anyway eating. Right? Your fraud mind starts thinking, who will look at this bill? My mother is busy cooking. You will give this 5 rupees back to the shopkeeper and you tell one popsicle for me also. Now, 100 rupees spent. What you will do, nicely you will take that grocery bag, go home. Your mom will be in the kitchen, keep that grocery in the kitchen. Your mom will ask what is the bill. You will tell 100 rupees. Your mom is least bothered about what is the bill that you have given. Right? And you will throw this bill. But before throwing the bill, you have to pass through the living room where the villain is sitting. Wearing one lungi, one sleeveless banyan, in one hand one remote, in another hand one cup of tea. Watching news. Visualize? Yes? He'll be asking, where is the bill? Bill is here only. How much is the bill? 100 rupees. 100 rupees also? Anxiousness starts. Right? Time bomb, ticking. Now, he will look at each and every item and he'll ask you. Now, you have no idea what is that. So, he'll tell, we'll do one thing. We'll go to the shop and inquire. You are so confident. Come, we'll go. There only you could have told. No. NMM we have to leave, no. You know what is NMM? Nachike, Mana, Maryade. Should be gone in public only for us. So, your father will hold your hand, go to the grocery store. How is it 100 rupee? It should come to 95, no. Their shopkeeper will tell, he has bought popsicle. There also, I didn't buy. Student to that. Now finally, when he convinces your dad that you have bought popsicle, then you'll tell yes. Right? Now your dad is very dignified in some matters. He will not do anything in front of the shopkeeper. But you will feel that Rocky Bite evolving. How you will feel when he's catching your hand and going back home? The grip feels even more tighter now. You'll have a small tattoo here. Right? You will go inside the house, he'll lock the door. That is the moment. When you understand that, RIP. Your mom has no idea she's cooking there. Your dad will start massaging you. Right? Indian parents, they massage you even without asking. We should be grateful. Why do you think COVID did not affect more Indians? Our immunity is very good. So your mom will come from nowhere. Why are you eating? 5 rupees. He has stolen. I didn't steal. That is stealing only. Without telling you have used it. It's called stealing only. 5 rupees you have stolen. 500 rupees worth massage you are getting from both now. In installments. Yes or no? Visualize your childhood trauma. Yes, animal part 2. Now, this is what is called audit only. The entire instance is audit. But in CA Intermediate, we are supposed to discuss audit of financial statements only. Audit is there in your life. But here, audit is restricted to financial statements only. Like for example, now if you have to attach that concept in audit, what your dad did was verification, inquiry. What shopkeeper did was the recalculation, checking the arithmetical accuracy, whether the total was fine or no. What your parents did was actually consequences of the choices that you have done, which is nothing but in audit we call the legal consequence. Yes, what police people should do, your parents did. Yes, now in this there is one important concept. You will be wondering that 5 rupees, just 5 rupees. You might be wondering, no, for just 5 rupees, what is this drama that you're creating for 5 rupees? For them, was 5 rupees important or your behavior was important? Behavior, which is nothing but materiality concept coming in there. Whether it is important or not important. Understood? So this is what is audit, nothing else. Nothing else is audit. There is one cycle, if you have to remember that cycle, audit is done. Entire syllabus is in that. So if I have to bring it in the corporate format or if I have to bring it in audit format, our audit requires information or no? What is audit basically? Checking. Yes. Check what? Financial statements. Very good. And where does financial statements come from? Management? Now you have to tell me accounts. Do I prepare financial statements first or do I prepare accounts first? Can I prepare financial statement first and then accounts?
No.
I can. My question was, can I? I can. But it is fraud. It is fraud because you're preparing financial statement. Based on that, you prepare books of account. It's fraud only. But technically, legally, your books of accounts comes first. Yes. Then checking these books of accounts is called what? Audit. Are you getting my point? So this entire audit is covered in one cycle. Now in this subject, the beauty of audit is accounts is involved, law is involved, costing is involved, FM also is involved, which is why people find it difficult. Because in account, you don't talk about audit at all. In law, one small seasoning is there of audit. Right? In costing, forget audit. Accounts only is not there except in one chapter. Integrated and non-integrated. Apart from that, you don't talk about audit. In taxation, leave alone. Audit is the last thing you talk about there. Tax only you don't talk properly. So in this subject, it is like a mashup, DJ. We have all subjects involved here. Right? So to understand this, we will travel in many different subjects and then we'll end up with audit. Clear? So any audit, any financial statements, do we need to have a data? Yes. What is the difference between data and information? Data is? Okay. Data, can I say data is a bigger term than information? Or rather, I will say information is nothing but processed data. Data is like raw material. Yeah, this is what management gives you. Client will come and dump everything on you because he does not know what is important, what is not important. So he will come and we have literally done audit where books of accounts are given in gunny bags. Literally gunny bags. We clicked a photo also during our articleship. Two gunny bags for 1 year books of accounts. They'll just dump it on you. Everything is important for us? No. So what we take out of that is called information. Now we have information on our hand. This information needs to be checked or no? Or directly you tell everything is good. You have to check. And checking is nothing but we call examination. Whether you have studied or no, how do we know? Examination. Clear? Now, after doing examination, how are we going to do this examination, sir? We do this examination through some procedures given. After doing procedures, what do we get out of it? We get something called as evidence. In general term, what do you call? Proof. Here proof is in Inatra. That's a general term you use. But in technical term, what do we use? Evidence. Now, after we get evidence, don't write anything for now. Just try to understand. I'll give you time to copy. Clear? Now, we get data. We process the data. We get what? Information. With that information, what do? We do examination through some procedures. And after procedures, what do we get? Evidence. Now, we evaluate this evidence. We do what? Evaluate. What do you mean by evaluate? See whether all evidence is important or no. Take only relevant evidence and then we form something called as conclusion. We form a conclusion and this conclusion we evaluate and we reach to an opinion and this opinion is given in form of a report which is in writing. Oral report we never give. Why? Why don't we give oral reports, sir? Trust issues, reliability. You are the same person who studied Indian Contract Act. Contract can be in writing. Contract can be oral. Then why are you not accepting here? Sir, people change, sir. Yes or no? Promises are no more. Promises. So how can you prove in the court of law that you told this that day? He will tell, who are you? When did I tell? In US and all, if you give any promise, if you make any promise, there has some value. It has some value. Try that in India. In fact, in India, the way you put promise as if promises are selling roadside. Mother promise. Godfather promise. Father, grandmother, grandfather. How many times you have killed your grandparents? God alone knows. Yes or no? So there is no value for oral contract these days, even though it is valid in your act. There is a reason. Why? When was Indian Contract Act enacted? 18? That is in 19th century. Where are we? 21st century. There is no way that act will be relevant here. But still we have to study. Practically it is not relevant. But we are still studying. Why? There are some places where they value. Like if you go to the rural part, there is value for words. There are some people whose words are more valuable than anything in contract and writing. Clear? Which is why we have kept it as a relevant but not more relevant. Today everything is in writing. Why? Not because only of trust issues. One. Second, why they are putting it in writing is sometimes you may tend to forget things. You may not be able to tell what exactly opinion you want to give. Are you getting my point? So that's why we give opinion in form of a report which is in writing. Right? Going forward, we will see actual auditor's report, the language that they have used, everything we will see almost practical. Why? Because you don't have practical exposure. So if I keep on giving you 100% practical examples, you will nod your head like this. But understanding should be there, no? Relevance should be there. You should first of all try to connect. Relatability should be there, which is not possible at this level. At final level, we can go for 100% practical because you come with an exposure there. Here you don't have exposure. You have to get exposure out of this theory subject. Understood? It can be in writing or oral, yes, but it is better to have it in writing. Future uncertainties, very good point. Tomorrow you don't know how people will turn into a different, say, I did not tell that, I did not give you information. Clear? There will be a lot of doubts coming in your mind as then when we move ahead with the subject. Do not hesitate to ask in the class. Clear? Number one. Number two, if in case if you have a feeling that, sir, if I ask doubt in the class, people will judge me, ask. No problem. If you get to know somebody has judged you, please come and tell me individually. I'll take care. Reason, you have given money. We Indians want more value than the cost. You go to a sugarcane juice shop, 20 rupees per glass. But the way that fellow removes a juice out of the sugarcane, no, sugarcane is next to 3 generations will think. There is no juice left out of that. He'll still put nimbe and he'll put that shunti and that one drop also will not leave. Why? We are like that. We give 20 rupees, we want 30 rupees worth of value. So if you have given fees, no, don't go out of this class with the doubt. Ask, clear it off. Clear? Because there will be doubts in this particular subject. Definitely there will be this doubt. So clear it off, right? Okay. Now, next thing. This is the entire cycle of audit. Entire syllabus is covered here. You pick up any standard, it is there here. Clear? Right from say 200, 210, 220, any standard we take, it is there from here till here. Understood? So this cycle will be keep on repeating every time. So if I tell, remember the cycle, we start from here. Clear? Understood? Right, sir. So now, can you please repeat this? I'll just write it again. Repeat the cycle once. We start from data. From that, we pick up information. Then we do examination of that information. And then we get evidence. Nobody will say proof. We get what? Evidence. And after that, we evaluate that evidence and we get what? Conclusion. We evaluate that conclusion and get what? Opinion. And that opinion is given how? In the form of report. What type of report we are giving? Written report we are giving. And this written report is what we call as auditor's report, or some people call as audit report, as the case may be. Both mean the same. Understood? Clear? Quickly copy this. Done? Now, in this material, I have given your study material examples as test your understanding. That's what your institute calls. Second, I've given you the questions which is there already in the study material in the last part of your chapter. Third, exam questions I have covered. Past RTP is there. MTP questions are there. Right, except May 24 RTP that I have not covered because this material was prepared before that. Clear? So all the type of questions have been covered. Now you might be having some misunderstanding when you are doing these questions, which I'll clear it right now. Number one, is this the first attempt of new syllabus?
Yes.
So is there a chance of me getting past exam questions of new syllabus? No. So from where am I getting past exam questions? Old syllabus. Which means the draft of old syllabus and the draft of new syllabus, there is a difference. Beautifully drafted syllabus, but students don't find the difference easily. Why? Let me give you the difference. Chapters name is same. No difference except few chapters. They have removed few standards and they have introduced new standards. But they have never changed the chapter name except for few chapters. Right? For example, in old syllabus there was a chapter called audit evidence. In new syllabus also there is audit evidence. But some standards of old syllabus audit evidence chapter they have removed and created a new chapter called completion and review in your new syllabus. If you see in your index, you will have that. Clear? There was a chapter called Is Artificial Intelligence a Trend Now? Yes. Is that the future? Yes or no? Yes. Is technology a future now? Yes. Is technology helping us in everything? Yes. So technology is involved in audit also. So there was a chapter in old syllabus, audit in automated environment. But if you see the index, it is not there. Exact same thing what they have done is Control A, Control X, cut, come to audit risk assessment and internal control, Control V. Because they have considered that as a internal control environment and put it under that concept. Content has never changed. Understood? This is the second difference. Third difference, what they have done is they have converted all the chapters into a concept-based chapter now. There is no more standard-based chapter. There is all concept-based chapter. For example, audit evidence. All the standards that talks about audit evidence will come under this chapter. All the standard which talks about review will come under completion and review. All the standards that talks about or all the elements that talks about reporting comes under reporting. Everything is given as a concept based. New syllabus students are little unfortunate and unlucky because there was one scoring area which has been removed. Scoring area was chapter 10 of corporate law, audit and auditors. Because if you study there, your scoring, you are like hitting 1-6 but you're getting 12 runs. They have removed that. Why? You don't have to get 12 runs. 6 is enough. That's other 6 is there, no, show that skill and talent in actual audit standards. Clear? Makes sense. Because what you study there here, you know how easy it was. You study there, appointment of first auditor is done by board of directors through board resolution. His tenure is so and so. If board fails, members within so and so days. You come here, you just put one word, verify. Answer over. Verify whether board has approved. Verify whether BR has been passed. Verify whether 30 days has been complied. Over. Done. Answer is done. What did you do here? Simply they are giving you 6 marks. Clear? So that way they have thought. This is my understanding. It might differ from author to author, teacher to teacher. Disclaimer. This is what I understand from the draft of syllabus, old syllabus and new syllabus. There's a huge difference between thinking. They want you to think as an auditor only. Why? Because now you're entering into articleship after finishing your intern. Clear? So you're actually getting into audit. And now articleship has been reduced by 1 year. So only 2 years. In 2 years, if you have to learn everything, you have to be active. And you have to know little bit of extra things. And some of the standards which were not there in the old syllabus has put up in the new syllabus from CA finals. But not entire standard. Little bit of introduction is there. For that, there is no question in past RTP, MTP of CA intermediate. So the only source for me there was CA finals. I have put that question also. Reason, you should not have a misunderstanding as to what type of questions they'll ask. So what I have done is I have given you how they have already asked in the CA final level, so that if I am able to prepare you for the worst, then that is the ultimate. Because anything beyond that you can attempt. And I have given in the bracket also CA final, so that you understand from where this question has been picked up and don't come under too much of stress that I don't know how to solve this. Understood? So that is just for reference purpose. Third, I have not given answers for exam questions. Why? No, you tell no, I'll only write exam for you. This is a professional course, right? If only one hand is working, it is not a clap. It is slap. Both should work. So you also have to do some work, right? My job here is to deliver concepts. Clear? Third, you cannot expect to cover each and every word in class. For that, we need 2 months of audit. Every word. Here, concept is more important because it is not directly what is there in the book only will be asked. They are testing the concepts there. Clear? Just like accounts, just like tax, just like cost. In fact, costing is a totally concept subject. 1,000 questions you solve. New one will come after that. Same thing, you have to understand the concept in CA, nothing beyond concept. Clear? Nothing beyond concept. You take up any subjects. We have done self-study of audit. So we know how to approach this subject, which is why I ended up as a teacher in audit. Did not take this subject as a choice. got it by chance, right? So now it's my job to deliver how I studied audit to students as to how you have to study audit. Most important thing in this, I heard Christopher sir telling this, can you complete that book within a day of exams? Like one day before the exams. Can you complete it? One day. Sure. 350 pages. Everything covered. What are the chances? Low or high? With that pressure. Now you'll tell yes. Consider the pressure also that you are going to handle in the exam time. That all depends on how your costing paper also goes. Yes or no? You should not have that mindset. No matter costing paper goes best or costing paper goes worst, my preparation for audit subject should go in the planned manner only. You know, the biggest challenge in CA is not CA itself. The biggest challenge in CA is preparation for the exams. Not even the exams, because you get 100 marks, everyone gets 100 marks. Same set of question paper, everyone gets the same set of question paper. But how you perform that from 2 to 5 talks more about a person as a performer there. Doesn't matter whether you have scored rank in state or a topper in school, nothing matters there. 2 to 5, 180 minutes. Focused 180 minutes you should have, which is a very difficult task to manage if you don't have preparation properly. These months, whatever you are having right now is where you're supposed to bleed, there you're supposed to sweat, but you do the other way around. Next important thing, don't audit the subject, take a pencil, keep a book. Okay, this point I know, this point I know, this point I know. You tend to do this, you are developing a very bad habit, which will also affect your CA finals. Are you getting my point? This is called auditing a subject. Put it in a tick mark. You do this for tax also at times. You do this for costing also at times. Accounts. I know. Eh, nothing. What? Depreciation add and minus in income tax PGBP. But in the exam hall, no. You know the adjustment, but you are like suffocated. I know it, but I don't know how to present it. That is where the problem comes. That is where the first spark of problem starts. Yes or no? So for that, practice is very, very important. Even in audit, you have 180 minutes in every exam. Am I right? You have 15 minutes to read the question paper, right? Now, honestly tell me, in this 15 minutes, what is your target? What will you do in this 15 minutes? Sorry? Huh? Entire question paper. Sorry? Choices? Anyone else? What do you do this in 15 minutes? Understand the question paper. Flip the paper. First of all, see how big is the question paper. Yes? No, I'll tell you practically. Because these are very small things, minute things I have observed and I have rectified it. Right? Which is where I was able to focus for entire 180 minutes without having a distraction in my mind. And this is no joke. It requires a lot of practice. First 15 minutes when you're getting question paper, now you are looking at others' facial expression. Based on that, you are drafting one judgment on the question paper. Number one. Number two, you get the question paper, you see whether the paper quality is good or no, you see how many pages questions are there, what type of questions, how many questions are there, you spend time there. Then you start reading first question. And how ICAI plays with your mind. First question, they mention in the question paper saying compulsory. They never mention compulsory first. First is compulsory. Compulsory first, no. First is compulsory. They never ask you to solve it first. And it is usually tricky. It plays with your mind. Very high chances that this question will start playing with your mind games. And 2 o'clock, some people will start sweating, nervous. They literally hear their heartbeat, right? Because anxiety starts kicking in. And when you pick up the pen and you do not know how to answer first question, confidence just falls like a pack of cards. You won't be able to solve easy question also. My technique, 1:45, get the question paper, I flip it. I break the seal, I read the last question. Because relatively last question is easier to handle. All I need is 1 minute of confidence level. I get that from last few questions, and then when my nerves are settled, I'll go for first question. If I don't know, I don't know. This is where the next move comes. If you don't know, you still try to bluff there. Pages we have to fill, no? 40-page magazine they are giving. Why leave it blank? We'll fill. What we don't know also we write. Very bad habit of creating your own answers. In audit, it is still fine because somewhere, some concept you may cover. In law and tax and all, no? Unless you are the finance minister, don't do such things. Don't bring amendments in exam hall. So this is where you go wrong, you start bluffing. Imagine that bluffing comes in the first page of your answer sheet. Then you write sensible answers. As a valuer, when I put a tick mark in the initial answer and if you have bluffed, I get an impression on you already that you are a type of student who has no idea about question but still wants to empty the ink. Why? You have paid for the stationery, you have to use it. And I won't be able to read your next papers also in the right manner. So you have to play with my mind without being present. So what you have to do for that, play with valuer's mind with some technique. For example, now I am wearing this color t-shirt. If there is one big white patch here on my arm, even though I am talking to you, your eyes will always be focused on that patch. Which means that white patch is drawing your attention, intentionally or unintentionally. In the answer sheet, when you underline, that is called white patch. When you put inverted commas, when you start underlining, even though valuer does not want to see, he has to see. He can't avoid it because it's drawing his attention. And those are the keywords that you have to underline, which in my material I have highlighted in some areas I have underlined. Those are these keywords in the answers. Clear? Crux is what we call, core is what we call, nucleus of the answer. You have to play with valuer's mind. Then, every question in the question paper is like a client coming with a problem. When a client comes with a problem, you don't deal randomly, no. You deal step by step, procedure wise. Yes. Similarly, try to understand the problem. If it is a procedure, you have to go through the process only. If it's not a procedure, for example, advantages, there's a procedure for that. When 6 points are there, any order you can write, no issues. But steps to conduct an audit, you have to. Can you give report first? No, report has to be at the end. So there is a process. Wherever I tell you this is a process, mark it in your notes. You have not come for a stand-up comedy session here. Right? So wherever I tell you this is a process, mark it. Wherever I give you an example, I usually give one general example, one technical example. Wherever technical example is not required, I stay only with general example. Sometimes it will go beyond one, beyond two. Whichever example is suited for you, write it in your concept book or in your textbook. Because some people don't like writing in textbook, they want to write in notes, as the case may be. Clear? Next thing is you have to revise after going home. Before you come to the next class, you have to revise and come. Only then we can take it forward. Because we are giving a 24-hour gap, which is not good if you don't revise. I am telling you today, day one, mark my words, you take this subject as lightly. This subject will take you lightly when? In the exam hall, exactly from 2 to 5. Till then it might help you little, but 2 to 5, answer is here, but you don't know how to write. You don't know how to start with the answers. Clear? In my CA final, when I finished my final exams, I attempted almost 17 question papers before I went to the main exam. With mock test, RTP, everything. And how I used to pick suggested answers was, I took up a range that is from the year 2000 to 2018. May 2018. November 2018 was my last attempt. I randomly pick one year. That year, suggested answers I pick, I see the question, I write the answer. Writing is very important because 180 minutes you have to continuously write. Are you getting my point? And do you know a fact that you don't get 180 minutes in the exam? 1:45 to 5:30 is the exam, but technically you start writing at 2. But you don't even get 180 minutes to write. You lose 20 minutes as a normal loss. Anything beyond 20 minutes is abnormal loss for you. You know what are the item species that you see in exam hall? Looking at the invigilators. There only you feel thirsty. Now you want to drink water, that too cold one. You have a bottle. No, but you want someone to commend you. In some exam centers, they do that also. You look at someone else who's writing, right? You look out of the window, one leaf is falling beautifully. You are even observing that, oh my God, look at that life of the leaf. I wish even I could fall and not get hurt. And if you are in a traffic populated area where there is a lot of traffic moving around, there will be one or two buses where they'll start honking with some Bollywood song. You start singing the next line of that song. With these, you lose 20 minutes. Trust me, this is what will happen in the exam. 20 minutes is bare minimum I'm taking. That means technically you have 160 minutes to complete 100 marks. Which means for 1 mark, 1.6 minutes. Yes or no? Just like how UPSC is competitive, CA is also competitive. Now you tell me, with just reading the book, can you have 1.6 minutes for 1 mark talent, skill, without practice? So from where will this come, sir? By practice. And some students will take it lightly in the initial days. Then they'll understand, oh, now I am feeling the pressure. By that time, 50 to 60% of the syllabus is over. So you'll start from chapter number 1. By the time I would have finished full syllabus. Now you don't know what to do. Same, ringa ringa roses. Come back to the same circle again and again and again. Clear? So do not do such things from day one only. Put up a habit of revision. Clear? Now only I am giving a disclaimer. Some of the topics are not interesting from your point of view. CA is not what you want, no. If given an option, you will skip audit. If given an option, you will do all 6 papers accounts only. All 6 papers FM, all 6 papers tax. Yes or no? But CA is not what you want. Life is not a wish granting factory. You need to do what needs to be done. Right? So now only I am telling you, consistency in class is very important. You lie to me, no issues. Sir, I was not well, so I couldn't come to class. No issues. But you yourself know that whether you are lying or no. So if you are not honest with yourself, don't even bother to be honest with me. Because it doesn't matter whether you are honest with me or no. What matters is whether you are honest with you. Whether you are telling the truth or no. Consistency is some things that you'll find it very rarely. Everyone coming to the class on a consistent basis, whether the subject is interesting or not interesting, this is there in the syllabus, I have to do it. Consistency is always boring. Good things are always boring. You can bunk the class and have fun. No problem. Absolutely no problem. Result day will understand. Why result day? We don't even have to wait for the result day, boss. Exam day only you'll get to know. But no. Indians, filled with hope. Even though whether we have studied or no, we have that hope. God is there. And starts offering. Give me this much mark, I'll give you this much. One not one coconut. God wants what coconut chutney will do. God wants coconut, huh? Yes or no? No. If you don't take care of yourself, you think he will take care of yourself? Of you? Absolutely no. Don't even bother about going and praying if you have not worked hard. Which means you are asking him to give result of someone else who has really worked hard. I'll give you. He is giving 10 coconuts and give 100, no? 90 more. Don't even bother. Working hard is number 1. Consistency is number 2. Discipline is number 3. You don't have these 3, you won't be able to clear CA exams when you want. You will take some time. You will take some time to understand. I have taken 10 years to do CA. 10 years to complete CA. Reason, I was never serious. I cleared my foundation in 4th attempt. Inter I cleared in 2nd attempt. Final I cleared group 1 in 3rd attempt, group 2 in 3rd attempt. So totally I have taken 10 years to complete. In between, I have suffered a lot mentally as well as physically. I've lost my right hand for 2-3 months. where my exams is in May and my hand is fractured in January for now I'm in rest for 6 months. So I have seen a lot of ups and downs, which is where these little things bother students when they don't take care. Very small things, minute things. You might build an entire building, but if there is no fuse, what is the point? Yes or no? Electricity is just because of that fuse. Sir, have you skipped any attempt? Never ever I have skipped any attempt in CA. If I fail, I fail. Simple as that. How many of you are scared of failure? Be honest with me. How many of you have never failed in life academically? Which is why you are scared of failures. Am I right? Because I've never failed in academics before. So now if I fail, there will be a judgment on me saying, till now you have never failed, what happened to you now? Yes or no? That's the main reason of failure. I never saw failure as a failure. I always see failure as, okay, now I have not done something, which is why I have not passed. Are you getting my point? 1 year completely I have failed. But there are two positives I take from my failure in first PUC. College starts somewhere in June. From June till final exams, completely I have failed. Not a single exam where I cleared all 6 subjects. First exam, all 6 subjects failed. Last exam, final result, only 2 subjects I failed. Consistency is there in failure. See, I told you, consistency and discipline is there. Every attempt I failed. Number 2, second positive I take out of this. I failed in 6, but ended in failed in 2. That means I have passed in 4. These 2 positives pushed me one step ahead in commerce, because if I have to come from Newton's law, Einstein's formula, H2O, CO2, potassium, sodium nitrate, and nonsense of physics and everything, from there if I have to come to debit what comes in and credit what goes out, it takes a lot of efforts and a lot of courage to first sit in the commerce class among commerce students without understanding what is going on. Clear? We don't know what is debit, we don't know what is credit, but it takes that first step. So don't see failure, don't be scared of failure, because it's not you, it's not they who's leading your life. It's you who is eating in your plate. Right? So be scared of not learning. When you learn, you tend to fail at times. So don't come under a pressure that I have to pass. I have to learn. That is the biggest concept in CA. There are many smart candidates out there who have never cleared CA because of marks. And I am definitely not smarter than them. I agree. I admit it. But it requires consistent effort, discipline. Clear? All of you remember one thing. You are living on a liability. You are living on a liability. So right now, whatever your parents are doing is investment. Hope for the best returns. This investment should be the best investment they have ever made in their life. But for that, don't come under the pressure of, we have to clear. We have to learn. If you learn, automatically you will get marks. Process is very, very important than the destination or the result. Right? Good. So let's start about the process. Tell me. Starts from what? Data. From data, what do we pick? With that information, what do we do? How? What do we get out of it? What do we do with the evidence? Conclusion. We form a conclusion and we evaluate. I'll write here. You evaluate the procedure, you get evidence. You evaluate the evidence, you get conclusion. You evaluate the conclusion, you get opinion. And that opinion you give it in form of written report. Right. Cool. So let's understand the definition of audit. Very important for understanding purpose. Now, when they say define audit, and when they say what do you mean by audit, is there a difference? What difference is there?
Defining is like just copy pasting.
Define means can you change the words there? No. But when they say what do you mean by, that's why what do you mean by? Their answer will differ. This is very important in law. But in audit, they have just given definition of audit or define audit. They have never gone beyond that. Clear? Right. Here objective is, I told you, we end up with what? Reporting. We end up with what? Reporting. In the cycle also we end up with what? Reporting. Clear? But audit says it is an independent examination. Focus properly on the definition. Independent examination means what here? What does independent mean? Very good. As usual, commerce student answers is not dependent. What's the private company? Which is not a. And what's the public company? Which is not a private company. Very good. What is independent examination here? Which is not a dependent examination. Now, what is dependent examination then? Which is not. So let's dive more into this concept called as independent examination. Right? Now, the auditor's report starts with the word independent. Now, what does independent mean actually? Liberal? Liberal? No. Individual examination? No. Very good. Yes, somebody said unbiased. Who said that? Yes, unbiased. No bias, no influence. Yes. For example, let us take one example. I am the management. You are the auditor. Okay. I am the management. You are the auditor. Now, who should give you information? Who should give you the data? What do you do then? Sorry? Take that information and start evaluating. Do you prepare information? No. Step number 1. Auditor never ever prepares financial statements in audit. He always audits that. That means preparation is whose responsibility? Management's responsibility. Second important thing in audit class you have to remember, we never only talk about company. When we talk about management, it could be partners, it could be proprietor, it could be trustees, it could be individuals, body of individuals, it could be board of directors. Understood? So never stick with one particular type called company. Yes, some of them are applicable only for companies. They have told. Yes, right. So what is our role? Do we prepare financials? No, we only check financials. Who should prepare then? Management should prepare. That means who has the primary data? Management. Very good. Now, one step ahead, not given in the syllabus, but I want to ask you, why is this bifurcation that management should prepare the financials and auditor should check it? Why can't auditor do it?
The same person doing it and auditing it.
Okay, same person doing and same person checking will not give us right result is what you mean. But isn't that reducing errors?
In companies that private.
Which is exactly why I told just now. We never only talk about companies. When I say management, everyone is covered. I knew this was coming. Someday or the other, some moment or the other, we will talk about this companies act, which is why I clearly told you. Is anywhere mentioned there called company? It's called entity. It could be a company, it could be a firm, it could be proprietor, it could be trust, it could be society, NGO, so many things. Why there is a bifurcation that it's your responsibility and this is my responsibility? We won't admit our own mistakes. Okay, everything is fair.
Sir, anybody can prepare accounts, but audit only CA can do it.
Technically, no, sir. I'll tell you the difference. This is what, yes, you're right from your point of view, but I'll give you the clarification now only. It's not auditor only can do audit. There are people who put up a board saying tax practitioners and auditors. I hope you have seen this. They also audit, but there's only one difference between them and us. Signature we can only put, they can't put. That way audit article does. In office, you prepare, you check everything, but who reviews it? Your boss. Who signs it? No, you also sign, no, when boss is not there. You can't, because there is a authority given. That's a proprietary authority given only to CA in practice, not CA in service. Clear? So only we have the authority to sign that. Okay, clarification given. Next, why there's a bifurcation? Analysis and provide opinion free from management influence. Okay,
They can receive you practicing character.
what is that? To audit. Okay, it's not the duty or it's a duty?
It is not practicing character.
Yeah, that's what. Why they have put it like that?
Unbiased evaluation can give it out from a point perspective.
Okay, unbiased opinion, which is why we say independent. But that's not an actual case. Anyone? Don't know?
Clerical work can be done by anybody.
Clerical work can be done by anybody, but preparing financials is not clerical, no? Ma? Don't you study accounting standards? Don't you study AS 29 provisions and contingencies? Borrowing cost, inventory, isn't it technical? Can anyone do it? No. But then why we are not doing it? Don't know.
Maybe states of
No. I like asking questions. So be prepared for a lot of questions. Like this, I'll keep asking questions which is not there, but forms the basis of your understanding of the subject. Don't know. Say you don't know if you don't know. Give up. Give up. Now that ego starts hurting, no? When you say don't know, you'll tell don't know. But when I say give up, I want 1 more minute. Yes, someone was saying, sorry.
auditors know how to find out the errors.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Rather than finding out errors, why don't you correct?
No, if you know how to find out the errors, you can also find ways to find the errors.
Right? Okay. Third party auditor can pinpoint the results. Everyone is talking about the end results. Yes, sir.
User will not get an independent.
No, if I just put independent auditors report, how will users understand? That way, even biased report, how will users understand? Only when analysts try to analyze and give an opinion, they'll get to know.
Sir, if the management themselves audit, then it will be dependent exam.
I'm not talking about management auditing. I'm talking about why can't auditor prepare financials? Basic ideas. When does auditor start his work? Throughout the year or after the year end? Right. Who knows business more? Management or auditor? Who knows the inventory management more? Who knows the sales more? Who knows the debtors more? Who knows when to do credit sale, when not to do credit sale? Who knows to put when do we give warranties, when we not give warranties? That means who should prepare financials? Because they have the knowledge of the business, and if you give that knowledge of business they have, but financials you prepare, these will go to whom now? Imagine now your auditor, I'm the management. Okay, now I know my business and I am telling you prepare books of accounts. Where will you go? Where will you come now? To me only to understand my business? Which means, aren't we both involved in preparing books of accounts? If we are both involved in preparing books of accounts, how can we give independent opinion now? There'll be a friendship developed. There'll be a bond developed. Yes or no? Take for example, in tuition only you see 3-4 months you'll develop one friendship where money is not involved. Imagine crores of money involved. Friendship will be even more pure. Yes or no? Pink color friendship. Green color, now pink color is not there. Green color. 500 rupees bundle. You start developing different sorts of threats. So they are telling who knows the business better in these both, management or auditor. So let them prepare, no? Let them prepare based on their understanding. What you do is take out their work, and since you also have knowledge of their business but not in depth, based on their understanding, you check their financials, what they have prepared, then come and give opinion. Understood? It is like you writing answers, me checking. But if I only ask you, you only write the answer, you only check the answer. Where is the result? Where is the unbiased evaluation? Are you getting my point? Yes. So if I know the subject better and I write the answer and you get the result, how is it talking about you? Yes or no? When you go out for interview, if I write the exam, you get the marks. Who is going for interview? You or me? You. Who will answer the question now? You. So there is no gap between knowledge and stability there or technical knowledge. So they are telling they know the technical knowledge about their business, their competitors, their economic environment, their social environment, their political environment. We do not know that. We are only bothered about audit. So let them prepare books of accounts. We will audit or check their books of accounts and see whether they have done properly or no. Understood? Clear? That's called independent examination without coming under the influence of management. Now, what is influence of management means? What is influence of management means? Absolutely right. Online answers. Yes.
Giving a positive result where there is negative result.
Giving positive results where there is negative. Then, no, not opinion. What is I'm talking about? What does influence mean here? You said many of them told unbiased management's influence. What does this influence mean? Compromise, bribe, sir. You have to work under their orders. Sorry? Yes. Setting under the table, side the table, over the table and all. Jewelry, bungalow, BMW. All these will be provided so that you give opinion what they want. Now, this is where you need to understand who is giving opinion. Isn't it called auditor's opinion? If it is auditor's opinion, should you give your opinion and their opinion? Our opinion. So they try to influence you. They try to influence you, but should you come under their influence? No. Now you will say no. Why? You are not in the situation, no. But when you are in the situation, that's where the real test starts. Imagine, I'll give you two situations now. Situation number one, this is you. Don't judge my drawing. This is management. Okay? Or let us say director. You are auditing this particular entity. Okay? And you found 100 crore fraud. Forget 100 crore. Let us take one small amount and see. 10 crore. Okay? For example purpose, what is there? 10 crore fraud you have found. Okay? Now you tell me, will you report it to your users? Yes or no? Sure. Sure. Full becoming single only, no? In the first class, I will report, sir. Yeah, not everyone, sir, will report. You'll report? No? You'll not report. You'll tell, who is this boss? 50% for me, 50% for you. Otherwise, full 100% income tax. Enna solra? Will you report or no? No? I will tell you, final evaluation reduce fraud. You'll report?
This report, sir, will we or not, that depends.
I'm asking you that only. Will you report or will you not report? Sorry? They'll tell yes. You put up the question, I'll give you the answer. Imagine I am the management now.
What is my salary, sir?
See, I told you. You start asking questions more. Yes. What is your salary means your fees. Now, what is the relevance between fees and reporting?
This is more anti.
Right. Right. If that is more, I'll go for audit fees only. Otherwise, as per law, we should. As per law, boss.
Forget about the law.
As per law, you have to stop and red signal. As per law, no entry means no going only. As per law, one way means only where will we listen? As per law, no entry means we don't see no. We only see entry. In India, it is the only, I think it is, till now, I think this is the only country where even on one way we see both the sides of the road and cross. Because you never know who will come from what side. Right? Forget about animals. So, forget about the law. What are you going to do is my question. So, I got one opinion, depends on the fees. Report it to government. Right, how many of you will report? See, if you don't respond, I will not ask such questions. I will keep on going with the syllabus. No issues for me. I can finish audit quickly. Before even, good. Put your hands down. Response is very important in class because I can do audit in 4 or 5 days also. Like, you will be crashed. Forget crash course. For a CA final, audit only was done in 5 days. This is after all inter audit. CA final audit 1000 pages in 5 days, dhamar. 6th day I'm wondering what is audit. So if you don't respond, I will not ask questions, and if I don't ask questions, I only have to do the syllabus. I'll do the syllabus. I will get my payment. Who is losing? You. So respond. Right. Will you report it? Yes, sir. Now, next stage. This management who is called as director is your. Now what you will do? Appa, fees. Both are. You never know. Now even some things are legal. People will open branch office without knowing only. Yes. I'll come to that. I'll come to that. I am targeting the root cause why law was made. Now tell me, will you report if this is forget spouse, sir? I don't know what answer you will get, but let me see. Father-in-law or mother-in-law is the director. With single attitude, report central government. Even if fraud is not done, this guy will tell employees, fraud. Now will you report? Yeah? Pakka? Sure. Okay. Now, if this is your father or mother,
I won't believe that is fraud.
huh?
I won't believe that is fraud.
You won't, but does it matter what you believe or no? Fact is fraud only. Yes or no? Isn't conscious coming in between now? Where your professional duty and your moral duty are in front of each other, facing each other now. Now you have to choose. This is called ethical dilemma. Dharam Sankat. Should I report or no? Better to withdraw. Which is exactly why in Companies Act they have put one disqualification that if your relative is in the director or in the KMP position, you cannot accept audit. But any position other than that, you can accept audit. Why? This is the position which is influential. But if your brother is a mechanic in the company and there is a fraud, there is nothing wrong in reporting, there is nothing wrong in accepting the audit because this fellow does not have influential authority. He cannot influence your scope. Now you understood that point. Why disqualification they have kept. In law you learn, but you'll never know why. Why they have put relative here? So if my relative is there, I can't accept. Not that you can't accept. Now you will tell, sir, I will be very strong with my duty, sir. Your capability I know. But keeping general thing in mind, keeping the country in the mind, we cannot take such risks. Which is exactly why they have also introduced something called a schooling period in law. All thanks to Satyam. Otherwise, generational auditors, no? Where new CAs will get job? Well, who is doing audit of this company? From 4th generation, we are only doing, sir. Full bonding. By birth only will come in BMW. So they have introduced all these things because of this only. Your independence will be affected. More about this, we will learn in chapter 11. Why should my bro will be mechanic, sir? Cousin bro. Those who have bro, they are directors. Those who don't have bro, they are mechanic. Consider like that. Okay? Right, sir. Yes, 5 years. No chance that is fraud, right? So all these comments will start coming when the person capacity changes. If that person is a stranger, you will start reporting. If the person is related to you, then you will start thinking of reporting. And if the person is very close to you, Nanavanalla. Judgemma, Nanavanalla. I don't have any knowledge about it. Yes or no? So you'll try to cover the fraud, which is exactly why they're telling, let's not get into this trouble only. Let's put a disqualification. No. Let's finish it off. Now that you've studied in Companies Act, but what about others? partnership firms. There is no act as such. I mean, I know we have something called as Indian Partnership Act, right? Which is actually good for exam point of view because that does not say anything. I like Indian Partnership Act only for one reason. It says go and follow your deed. And it says if your deed does not say anything, come to me. Okay, sir, my deed does not say anything about profit sharing ratio. I'll come to you. What is it? Equal. My deed does not talk about salary. What do you say? Nothing. No remuneration. Deed does not tell anything. I am also telling. Same. Puppy same. If deed does not say anything, I will only for one thing I will tell. Interest on loan. That I will tell. 6%. Yeah, the kappa 6%. Inflation rate only is so much. You better not give anything. Are you getting my point? So there is no specific law which will tell this is exactly what you are supposed to do. But shouldn't you also supposed to think that if there is any threats, you should not accept such assignments? Which is threatening your independence. Should you take such assignments? No. If you can put up safeguards, take it. But if you cannot put up safeguards, don't take it. It's better you don't take it at all. Which is exactly why. Now coming to general examples. Your parents will never do business with your relatives. For this reason only. Not because they are your relatives, but because tomorrow this business will affect them. We have done so many things that time, we have given discount for you, which is exactly why they clearly say if they are going to relative shops, only if you are taking money will come. If you don't take money, will not come. Why? Influence. Independence is not safe there. Right? They always say, don't have business relationship with relatives and close friends. Many people, sometimes they come and ask, we are good friends, we want to start a partnership. First advice I give them, don't. Why, sir? Jealous of our friendship? Jealous, sir. Later on, I only have to be arbitrator between you guys. So I tell them, don't. Never have business relationship with best friends because you will spoil one thing for sure. Friendship. Business will die. Small doubts comes. See, whether it is a life partner or business partner, both have same capacity in respective fields. Small amount of doubt starts kicking in. Your life is miserable, whether it is in business or whether it is in personal life. So selecting partners in both aspects is very important. So evaluate. Right? I am not promoting be single and all. Excuse me. I'm just telling you how independence will be affected. Next. Right, sir. So did you understand what is independence here? Then financial information, sir. What does financial information mean according to your understanding?
Financial statements. Books of
Okay. Financial statements, books and papers. How to evaluate chapter 11. We'll see in chapter 11 how to evaluate the threats. Right, tell me. Books and papers, books of accounts, and then what you said, financial statements, then over.
agreements.
Any agreements? Right. Sir, is voucher considered as financial information? Contract entered financial information. Agreements? Yes. Books of accounts? Yes, sir. Sir, case files? Case. Divorce case.
That will be providing compensation and gifts.
But how is it relevant for business? Unless your business is only to compensation if you are giving financial information. Yes, liability you never know. Clear? So liabilities all come in financial information. So this particular word is broader than financial statements. Financial information includes financial statements. So always remember this is called financial information and never financial statements, because we also consider books of accounts, we also consider financial statements, we also consider all other papers, books and papers in a company. That one definition is there. Don't bring that here, because we are using any entity. What company is not maintaining, some other entity can maintain. Yes or no? Clear? So every entity, whatever financial information they are maintaining, I will check that. Can they say no? Can they say no when I want to check? They can't? Sure? Then I'll ask you one question. Can an auditor go and check board of directors minutes book? Think before you answer. I am talking about not shareholders. Board of directors I am talking about, where confidential and PSI, price sensitive information will be there, which will affect the stock price or market capital of company.
Will it help the auditor in this process?
That only after checking you will get to know. No?
If it helps, if the auditor has for it, if it does not help, I mean, they need not.
Now, that question should not come in the first place only, because isn't board's decision affecting your financial decision? Whatever decision board is taking, will it not affect your finances? For example, if they want to invest in new business, will it not affect your finances? Dividend, will it not affect your finances? Bonus shares? Yes? Yes or no? Demerger? Merger? Amalgamation? Everything affects. Now, what decision they have taken, how do we know? Only when we read the minutes book, no? Now tell me.
Without 2 minutes, can he pass his opinion?
Okay. Opinion should be baseless or with base?
Is that a valid way?
Without having a base, how can you pass an opinion? Are you getting my point? Now, tomorrow when somebody asks you, on what basis you are telling this? You will tell gut feeling. They'll add gutter there. So you need to have some basis. See, going back to the cycle, any answer, this evidence is based on procedure and examination of information, no? Without procedure of, without examining the information, how can you come to a conclusion? Answer. Not relevant, huh? If you go to Companies Act section 143, power, not even right. Yes or no? It's my power to access books of accounts, books and papers at all times. So if it is relevant for my audit, can board of directors say no? They have to tell yes. Now you will cross question me. But what if there is confidential information? No, sir. He will get to know. No. Just like how director is a professional, CA also is a professional. I also have professional ethics. If I do not follow professional ethics, definitely government will take action on me, because we have a standard. We have ethics, which you learn in CA finals. If you are a CA in practice, you are supposed to follow certain ethics. All in all, 44 clauses you have, spread across 2 parts, 4 schedules. So you have to understand these things, and you're not supposed to disclose it to others. Which is why if you see in seminar, conferences and all, they'll discuss the case, but they will never tell client's name. They'll discuss the case. Now in my class also, I'll be discussing a lot of cases, but I'll not tell the client's name. Why? Confidentiality is one of the ethical requirements of auditor. So you have to keep it confidential. It's like going to a doctor and imagine now he is telling, what are you feeling? I won't tell. What if you tell others? How will you give solution without you telling? Neene hudko. Possible? Not possible. Now for him, practically everything is not possible. So you have to tell what you're feeling. Same thing, board of directors has to disclose. Otherwise, auditor is very good. He will tell, I don't have any opinion. Why? Because he is not giving me any information. Without information, how can I form conclusion? I will tell no opinion from my side. Why? Information is not given. Understood? So to give opinion, I need proper information. Understood? So 2 things here we learned properly today: financial information and independent examination of any entity. What do you mean by any entity? Proprietor, partners, then OPC, company, private, public, NGO, charitable institution. Yes, HUF. Sir, whether it is registered firm, unregistered firm, I am not bothering about it. Any entity, whether profit oriented or not. Meaning NPO, your Section 8 companies, trust, society, but what will we audit there if they're not making profits?
They will make profit, but in their MOA they will state that we are not for profit, but they will.
Okay, now I have a beautiful question for this. When you say you're a non-profit organization, how can you make profits?
Incident.
Nice. Very nice. It's called surplus. Right? It's called surplus, you're telling. I steal from my father's pocket and feed the hungry people. I should be Robin Hood. No, why are they calling me thief then? I did good things.
But
In a wrong way.
They're not doing it legally.
Then why are you calling yourself as NPO
Not your money.
and doing profit calling it surplus? Huh?
and the profit is not used for anything else but to help. the
Okay, so basically you're talking about application of profits. I also applied in the right manner only, no?
You got it in the
society.
wrong way.
What you also told? What did you guys just tell? Application, no? I also applied in the same manner.
The entity can have profit, but the members can't. If the entity has profit, the members can't take that.
So basically you're telling members can form an entity, call themselves as NPO, make profit, and then put it in good cause. Boss, this is where what he told, first one word he told, incidental profits. It is not intentional profits. Profits happen. We don't intend to make profits, which is where when we don't intend to make profit and there is profit, we never call it profit, we call it surplus. I never asked about application of profits. I only asked, why are you making profits? Sir, I am not making profits. My intention is never to make profit. My intention is to serve. But in the process of serving social cause, people give more money than what is required, which is not profit, sir. That is why it is called surplus. I want 10 crore donation. I get 15 crore. My problem. Is it my problem? Did I ask for it? No, they gave out of their noble cause. 5 crore extra amount I have. Is it profit? Which is why you call it surplus. I got 15 CR. I spent only 10 CR. How much is remaining? Call it profit. Profit is what? Sales minus purchase. Sales minus cost. There is no sales here, no cost here. Therefore, there is no profit here. We never speak about application here first. Primarily, we talk about whether that profit is intentional or incidental. But when we talk about audit, we never talk about whether you are making profit or no. Audit is all about what you have told others, what you are performing in front of others. That is what I am supposed to check here. You have told, I am there for education, and you are doing real estate business. Audit I will do. Why? My intention is not to tell whether you are making profits or no. That's why profit oriented or not. Whether you are profit oriented or not, I will still audit. Why? Imagine now, let's say you are building one temple. Okay. Now, when you are building one temple, do you need money from public? And you're telling public that we are building a temple, public will give a lot of money. Donations will flow in. When donation flows in, public will give money with the intention of you building a temple. Will public also build a temple there? No, they're just giving money, thinking you will. You built a temple, but you're also presenting a budget as to how much is the requirement of a construction of a temple. You'll tell a budget. Based on that, people will give. Now, can you tell people, no, enough, don't give? Can you tell donors, don't donate? Have you seen anyone say, don't donate? No, people will keep on donating. No, we will spend. Just because people donated doesn't mean we have to spend it. In the current year only. Next year we'll spend. Upcoming years we'll spend. So there is never an intention of making profit, which is why there is no word called profit. In fact, the statement also you'll never call it as profit and loss account. Simple, boss. What came in, what went out. That's it. So you call balance sheet because the trust or society will have assets and liabilities in the name of the trust or society, but you will never call it profit or loss statement. It's always income and expenditure. Understood the basic difference of why the name is there? Yes, right. My next basic question is, why do you call profit and loss as profit and loss when either the net result is either net profit or net loss?
That is one
Can you have both?
No.
That is one of the mistakes is what I think.
Okay.
It should be or profit or loss account.
Right.
It is profit and loss.
Okay. What if there is deficiency? If there is deficiency, we'll put it as deficit, no? In NPO accounts. Huh. It should be profit or loss account, sir. Okay.
Gross profit.
There could be that's if you have trading and P&L, no? No, what if I don't have trading account? Really?
In your profit and loss statement, you have various types of loss. So EBITDA, so earnings before tax, interest and tax, so earnings before tax.
Okay.
Before interest and tax could be a profit.
FM. FM is kicking in. Right. You're right. Without trading account, we cannot have P&L. Right? But there are some cases where you have gross loss and net loss also, no? This is not why you call profit and loss account. Your first answer was right. Profit and loss account, why do you call it is? Now imagine this is a remote, is my asset. This is also my asset. This cost is 10,000, this cost is 5,000. Okay, I sold it for 8,000. Did I suffer loss in this entry? Hey, tell journal entry, what nodding your head? Who told sales? Bank account debit 8,000. P&L account debit 2,000. Or loss on sale of remote account debit 2,000 to remote account 10,000. Now you have an open ledger just kept open like open masala dosa. Loss on sale of remote. You have to close that. Where will you put? P&L debit side. Okay. This remote cost 5,000, sold for 8,000. Entry. Bank account debit 8,000 to remote account 5,000 to profit on sale of remote 3,000. That profit on sale of remote will go to P&L credit balance or credit side, which means in 1 year I may sell many asset at profit, I may sell many asset at loss, which means I may suffer profit as well as loss, but I can't show everything like that, which is why we net off and show totally this is our profit and totally this is our loss, which is why profit and loss is because of the individual items that you're passing there. Profit and loss for the year. In the entire year, these are the events that we have gone through. Since users will not get a clear picture, you show a net profit or net loss after considering everything. This is what we are left with. Understood? Clear? Understood? It is not a mistake. Clear? No, initially when I was in PUC also, no, like, why these mad people are calling P&L? Ultimately, it is net profit or net loss only. Sometimes science students have genuine doubt, but they are so ashamed to ask that, because in our PUC, our teacher is tell, what I have told, just follow that. Okay. NP account, provision for bad debts. Concept, where do you learn? In foundation. There add, minus, right? But when you open actually the ledger account, you will understand now what is old provision, what is new provision, how to merge that. Are you getting my point? So when we say audit any entity, we audit whether it is profit oriented or no. If it is profit oriented, there we see whether the profit is actual profit or no, or it is a fake profit. If it is not profit oriented, have you used the funds as promised? Clear? So basically, I am that particular medium through which users get to know the actual results of the company or the entity, since they do not have technical knowledge. Clear? Then, irrespective of its size or legal form, meaning small company, small firm, big firm, we don't bother. Legal form means registered, or whether you have an identity in legal eyes or you don't have, we don't bother about it. But what is our ultimate opinion, sir? When such an examination is conducted with a view to expressing an opinion, which means my ultimate objective is to express opinion. Going back to the cycle, start from data, information, examination, procedure, evidence, conclusion, opinion, report. It ends with opinion. So ultimately I do audit for what? To give opinion. This is the only profession where opinion matters. In other profession, opinion doesn't matter. Right? All in these legal profession, doctor profession, CA profession, CS, opinion matters. They pay you to give your opinion. So from now onwards, no, don't give free opinion. First of all, whenever somebody comes and asks for opinion, tell, this is my charge. Because you're doing CA, no? Right now you know that your opinion, your entire audit is for giving what? Opinion. You know what is the audit fees of Reliance auditors? 30 crores. 30 per year. That means, sir, how much they would have examined. Now, when you see, it's not for one auditor, no. They have so many subsidiaries, so many branches, so many businesses. Can one auditor do it in one shot? No, he will take another lifetime to finish 1 year audit. Yes, so that means he has to join more auditors, which means I need to take care of more opinions. But ultimately, only one opinion matters, that is the main auditor's opinion. So ultimately, audit ends with what? Opinion. Clear? So this is the most important definition of our syllabus. But the net profit is around 75k crore. They should pay higher. They should pay, they paid, that is totally dependent on the auditors. Clear? Right. So this is the definition. Quickly, tell me what is the definition of audit. Independent examination of financial information of any entity, whether profit oriented or not, irrespective of size or legal form. What is my ultimate objective? Is to express an opinion thereof. And this opinion, how do I give, sir? In form of written report. Clear? Yes. Right. Sir, technical term of audit is called engagement. Not the engagement that you are thinking. Generally, engagement means what? You know, though. Engagement means what? Getting committed or fixing parties. Lock kar diya jaye. Yes or no, that is engagement. But in audit language, engagement means a particular assignment, a work. So when you go to Big Fours and all, they don't say we have an outside audit work. It sounds very, not even cheap, unprofessional, local language. What is outside audit and inside audit? It's nonsense. That's why they call it as engagement. We have an engagement. Now don't get excited tomorrow, first day of Big Four. Beautiful girl comes. Hi, we have an engagement today. You didn't tell me early. I didn't get ready. That engagement means what? Audit. Clear? And the person who leads that engagement is called engagement partner. Clear? The person who leads that engagement is called engagement partner. I have to tell you this, otherwise sometimes people will come and tell, we have 3 engagement partners today. 3 are. Don't take it wrongly. Engagement partner means the person, the particular partner in that firm who's leading that particular assignment is called engagement partner. And they will not tell we have to finish the audit. This is a language they talk. They say we have to sign off the engagement. To you. Nothing. It means we have to complete the audit. But they don't say it as audit, they say it as engagement. You talk to Big Four people, no, after 2 years they are used to this language. They're so used to this language that they can't talk in normal language at all. One of my close friend is a general manager in one of the Big Fours, KPMG. So when he talks to us, no, bro, what are you doing this weekend? I have a sign off this weekend. So they talk in that language only. I have an engagement to finish. He got engaged recently, actual engagement. So initially when he used to talk, no, he used to be like, what this guy is talking. Then in their language, engagement means work, an audit, an assignment. That's why it's called what? Engagement. In the exam, they may ask you, what is the another name for audit? MCQ they can ask. Or in fact, if they say define engagement, it's also called as audit only. Clear? Right. It means an arrangement to do something in the context of auditing. It means a formal agreement between auditor and client under which the auditor agrees to provide auditing services. That letter name is called as engagement letter. Highlight this word, engagement letter. Sir, then why did the name audit come? Audit basically means examination. Clear? Now engagement involves audit engagement also. See, that's why they have told here auditing services. There are many services that we can give. Review service also is there. Clear? So engagement is a bigger term. It involves audit as well. So there is a letter between auditor and a client. That letter is called as engagement letter. Clear? The purpose of external audit engagement is to enhance degree of confidence. Sir, this degree of confidence is what we call as assurance. So when I say, I assure you, what does that mean? Am I not increasing your confidence? When I say, I assure you this question will come, am I not increasing your confidence? Yes. Sir, in old syllabus, the subject name of auditing and assurance. New syllabus is same, but they changed the name called auditing and ethics. There is a concept called assurance services, where we enhance the degree of confidence. Enhance means what? Increase. They have confidence, but if we tell, confidence increases. For example, many people told new syllabus, 6 subjects, 6 papers will be announced. Yes, ICAI did not tell. Clear? ICAI just gave a draft, did not confirm. Everyone told 6 papers, but when did your confidence increase? That means ICAI gave assurance. Many people will tell, but we need to hear from the right person. That's when assurance will be given, confidence will increase. Right. Such engagements are also called as reasonable assurance engagements. So now comes the most important concept, reasonable assurance, RARA. Now, why do we need to give reasonable assurance? Why should we not give absolute assurance? What is absolute assurance?
100%.
100% true and fair. Why? Nobody can be perfect. Okay, I will take that as an answer. But why can't you be perfect? You have standards, you have data, you have information. Why can't you be perfect? Don't involve human then. Put softwares. Okay. Huh? It's an. So, opinion based on some information, no?
You should make some estimates, and estimates can be true or like provision for bad.
Very good. Very good. Absolutely right. Management will make a lot of estimates. What does estimate means? Evaluations based on assumptions. Yes or no? Let's take an example. Provision for bad debts. Is it 100% true? Aren't you assuming that this debtor will become bad? Overthinkers. Oh, he has not paid. Definitely bad. Increase provision. Yes or no? Provision. You have 2 provisions in debts only. PFBD. Provision for doubtful debts and provision for first two provisions when you are making. That means you are such a safe person in life. Little bit of prior alignment, this side, that side, you'll go for service. Why, sir? Isn't it based on assumption that something might happen and I have to be safe? Third, let's say you are a national insurance company. Can you tell me how many people will die this year? Insurance company, no claims you have to make. You have to give claims. Tell how many people will die. Can you? Definitely you can't. Otherwise you can go and tell the person, no, this date you will die. Pay all your liabilities before that. No problem. But before that, pay all your. No, you can't predict that. Which is where actuary comes into the picture. Based on the statistics, based on an assumption, they will build one report. Based on that report, you build a provision for claims. Onion movie you watched, Aparichit in Hindi, Ambi, Remo. Yes, he has one TVS, no? Brake fail, one incident will happen. He will go to company and I will file a case on you. Now, shouldn't that company make provision for warranties? For the manufacturing they have done, shouldn't they give warranties? Yes. Now, how can you create a provision if you don't have an assumption that in this year these many people will return these goods? Yes or no? Assumption again. Electronic companies, when they manufacture electronic devices, won't they say 1 year warranty, 2 years warranty? For the 2 years or 1 year, shouldn't they prepare provision on assumption? So there are a lot of assumptions involved. When assumptions are involved, can you predict 100% fact? When management will be telling, sir, we are only not being accurate. How can you give accurate opinion? That's only one of the factors. What is the other factor? Sir, auditor can't audit every data. Data is huge, so reasonable assurance. Lazy. Why can't you start audit from the beginning if the data is huge? Tell me. Second factor, can you predict future? If yes, please tell me how much you'll score in CA Inter. Every subject wise you tell me. Can you? So how can, when you can't predict future, how can you tell people that this company will survive forever? Best friend forever.
Going concern.
Huh? Going concern. In this subject you will learn now, going concern also has a concern. Which will go one day. So you can't tell this company will run forever. But you have a big confusion that there is a difference between going concern and perpetual succession. What you thought is perpetual succession, what you told is going concern. What you thought is members will come, members will go, company will stay forever. Is that going concern? That's perpetual succession. Company's identity will live forever. Going concern is business will continue for a foreseeable future. Sir, foreseeable future means till I see, business will go till there. Adukapra, that I don't know. Till there, business will go. Next year, when we reach there, we will tell, okay, till there, business will go. Foreseeable future. SA 570 will talk more about that. Understood? This is one. Third most important thing. Who is giving the data? You think they'll give true data? Forget management. You have been to doctor. 100% true data you have given to doctor? Simply. If there is any bad habit and you have done it, and when he asked, have you done this? No. Where? Me? No. Good boy. So there will be 1% factor which you will hide, which I do not know. Hey, if management does fraud, they'll come and tell, sir, fraud. Please, it is there in the financial statements. Please arrest me. Will management tell that? If management has done error, will they come and tell directly? If management has done intentional mistakes, will they come and tell? No. If the fraud is a very thoughtful process, will they come and tell, sir, in this ledger, no, go to these dates, I have done fraud. Will they tell? No. So, in these cases, we have no idea whether there is any fraud involved or no. There are a lot of uncertainties involved, which in audit language we call limitations. Time is also a limitation. Resource is also a limitation. When do you start audit? After the year end, because they have to prepare their financials. Now you start on 1st April. Some of the audit report, if you see, in by 27th May, audit report is given. That means in 1.5 months, you have done entire audit and finished it. How was it possible? Sampling basis, lot of auditors are involved, lot of judgments are involved. Are you getting my point? Contingent liability is a pure example of judgment. How do you know whether that liability is actually payable or no? Which is exactly why in balance sheet, it will not come here. Why? Whatever is here is known liabilities. Contingent liability alone is unknown. And that's why we just give a disclosure. When do we get to know the liability? When one factor gets attached to it. That is certainty factor. And who will give us a certainty factor? Law counsels or lawyers. They are the experts, no? Are you getting my point? So there are a lot of uncertainties involved, which is why we will never give absolute assurance. We only give reasonable assurance. Clear? Yes. Right. Now, what are the points to be considered? Question number 1. Very important question. What are the points to be considered to ensure that financial statements are not misleading? So what should I do to ensure that FS is not misleading? Who prepares FS? Sure. Whose responsibility? Management's responsibility. Whose duty is to do financials? The management. Then what do I do? Check whether it is proper or no. Now, before I go to point number 1, one basic question. How many of you from foundation? Good. Lower your hands. Question is for you. No, question is for actually everyone, because this you have done it in PUC also. In final accounts, you have trial balance. After trial balance, you have adjustments. Trial balance will be given. Then some adjustments will be given. Yes, in your PUC you would have learned all trial balance has 1 entry, all adjustments has 2 entry. My question, why? When you know the adjustment, why don't you put in trial balance already? Huh? After preparing trial balance, you got to know the fact. So, are you telling me that you cannot change trial balance at all?
Why should we change?
Why should you not change, sir? Prada. Why should you not change? We can't go back and change it. We will have to do debit and credit both, sir. So, error after preparing trial balance, suspense account will create. Very good. Very good, very good. Yes. If it is already included, fine, you're talking about a particular transaction which is already there in the trial balance and we're giving adjustments. But there are many transactions which is never entered in the trial balance. Then you give effect. My question is, why can't you put that and give me, sir? Why can't you give me a finalized trial balance? Why you have to give me, best movie example? I have a lot of movie examples coming in the class, okay? If you watched this in Kannada, one movie was there, I think Yajamana. That onion dosa example, where this guy goes to a hotel and he'll order onion dosa. Dosa will come separately, onion will come separately. Why can't you put in that dosa and give? Same thing, trial balance separately, adjustment separately. Why can't you adjust and give me an adjusted trial balance? Huh?
Any account which has balance is appear in trial balance. Some accounts won't have balance like depreciation, so it won't come in trial balance.
Fine. I'll put a transaction then. Transaction is, there is a balance in credit or ledger balance, let's say 1 crore 50 lakhs. Okay. Then there is adjustment that there is a credit or payment made of 25 lakhs. Coming in adjustment. Okay. Now bank will affect, creditor will affect. Isn't both balance only? Why is it coming in adjustment then? Who should rectify that? Then why are you giving me adjustment? Who should find out? Perfect, sir. Management finds out after preparing trial balance. Whose duty is to prepare trial balance? Then whose duty is to rectify their accounts? Then why are you giving it to me?
Isn't that just a summary?
This is what you have learned in PUC. This is what you would have learned in PUC. Practically, we get updated trial balance only. We get after adjustments. We have to get after adjustments. Boss, it's not my duty to correct your trial balance. If you have found adjustments, you bloody change it and give me. You can't, sir, this is trial balance, this is adjustments. Then, markoli, sir. Then, do one thing, next year give books of accounts to me only then. I will only prepare. Everywhere you put suspense account debit to suspense account credit. Yaar ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ CA ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. Brahma, everything you put in suspense account and you put it on CA's head. Practically they should do it. Now I'll tell you why. In your academics, why they are giving it as adjustments after trial balance. Let us take one example. Let us say I am the proprietor. Who am I? You are my accountant. Okay. Now there is, let's say, 2 lakhs cash balance in the cash box. I come to you and I tell, give me 50,000. Will you dare to ask why?
No.
Because you know tomorrow then you'll be ex accountant. So I take 50,000 from you and I go out of the firm. What will you record it as? But do you know for what purpose I took?
No.
Now imagine I take this 50,000, go and make payment to creditor. What you would have recorded? Drawings. But creditor balance also is unchanged. Now in the adjustment at 31st March, accountant will prepare trial balance according to his knowledge and give it to auditor. But in the finalization stage, auditor is there, accountant is there, owner is also there. Now accountant and owner, this is a love triangle. So obviously auditor will prepare one draft balance sheet and he'll show this is the creditor balance. Sir, I have paid this guy, sir. Accountant will, huh? Yavaga? I paid 50,000. When now I don't remember. But sir, you didn't tell everything I should tell you. Now there's a fight between these both. Auditor will tell, wait, when did you pay? Don't remember? No problem. Now what he will do? Someone will remember, no, this 50,000. At least creditor knows. At least ask him. He will remember when you received. Now he will tell one date. That date, if I trace in cash book or day book, will I not get the actual reason?
Yes, sir.
Then, oh, you have put drawings. Now owner will tell, what drawings? Sir, you just took 50,000 and went, so I put maybe for your personal purpose and put it as drawings. Now it is my duty to rectify that. Which is where again now rectification of error will come into the picture. Understood? That adjustments in academic only they'll give you. In real life you have to find. In academics they'll give you a problem, you have to find solution. In real life find a problem first. Then find a solution. Then rectify that. Understood why you are preparing accounts like that? It's never our duty to prepare accounts. It's always theirs. We find errors and we'll tell. Now suspense to suspense is there. I have seen such entries. Suspense account debit to suspense account credit. They'll put an amount because they don't know what is happening. Trial balance should match. For accountant's perspective, trial balance should match. In trial balance, suspense account debit balance is there. Suspense account credit balance also is there. Now, what is this? Now you sit with the accountant, open suspense account ledger. There is more confusion. They'll write suspense account to sales. Now you have to understand this. Imagine let us say, best part, one of the practical transactions that I have found out, let us say 50,000, they'll write suspense account debit 50,000 to Karthik account. 50,000. Tell me what transaction is this? Correct. But prima facie, what transaction could be? Payment to Karthik. Huh? Hey, Vignesh, spelling wrong. Karthik. Credit sales. Karthik gave us 50,000. Overvaluation of debtors. Just with one suspense account. Now, won't you start having different scenarios in your mind? Clear? Now, imagine this is one transaction. Imagine there will be bank account debit to money paid off. Money received from? Okay. Unknown person means for what purpose? Then put unknown account, no? Debtors would have paid. Loan would have been taken. Now, if it is a loan, secured or unsecured? If it is secured, where are the terms? If it is unsecured, is it written or is it an oral transaction? Is it an oral agreement? Now, according to this income tax compliance, you have to check. Are you getting my point? I'll add more complication. Leave bank. Bank is more safer. I'll add cash. I'll go. Cash received from debtors. Then subsidy received. Confusion. Now, how do you resolve this confusion? If they give. This entry only they are putting with suspense account. You think they'll give narration? Boss, if they knew narration, entry would be fine. I tell you, narration will be there, being amount received. Ago. Now amount received from whom, for what purpose, when date I can see. Journal entry, if I see the date, I'll get to know, okay, received. But who gave this person? And you can't do finalization without clearing this account. For this, we will sit with owner. You think owner will remember? Imagine now, this was 10th July entry. And you're doing audit of 31st March. Will you remember 10th July, did you receive money? You ask accountant, and here comes the best part. Imagine there are 3 accountants in that year. One accountant joined, left, another joined, left, another joined, left. Now you are dealing with the 4th one. He will tell, Bandidiya. At least she told Bandir Bahudu. This fellow is asking Bandidiya. Which means he has no idea about what is happening in the accounts. Now sit with both. Make them understand something has happened here. That too you have received cash. Now your work increases. Why? Debtors you told, debtor could have been paid, ask from every debtor. Kotidiya, 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 Kotidiya. No. Now you start seeing cash book, that particular date you will see and what you have used it for. If it is bank, it is even more easier for us to trace it down. Because we can go to bank, we can say from where you have received, from which account you have received. We can go to that person. Cash. Which is exactly why in income tax, they say cash transaction, we will not allow for more than 10,000. Earlier it was 20,000. The limits have changed. They are trying to reduce cash transaction as much as possible because it increases uncertainty, increases difficulty. You think audit is so, it's like a driving on a highway? No. So uncertainties will be there. So sit with the owners and try to understand. Clear this suspense first. Clear? Then you will go for finalization of accounts. Understood? So what am I supposed to do? Point number 1, accounts have been drawn up with reference to entries in the books of accounts, which means, sir, here accounts, this accounts means what here? Financial statements. And this accounts means what? Books of accounts. So which comes first? Books of accounts comes first, financial comes next. So we have to ensure that this is the procedure that have been followed. Books of accounts first, financials next. Second one, the entries in the books of accounts are adequately supported by sufficient and appropriate evidence. Go to the last page of the book. Notebook. Give the heading abbreviations. Give the heading abbreviations. Give the heading abbreviations. First one, write SAAE. SAI. SAI means sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Now, more discussion we have to do here. What is the second point? Every entry in the books of accounts should be supported by some evidence. Correct? Right. Now I'll put entries in front of you, transactions in front of you. You tell what evidence can be collected. Let us say now ArivuPro has called me to teach audit at travel. Correct? Yes. Now I traveled from Bangalore to Bangalore. Let's say I traveled in train. What evidence we'll have for this? Very good. From railway station, imagine not every area will have Ola, Uber, right? Pondicherry does not have. Goa does not have services of Ola, Uber because tourist places and there are local families who are totally dependent on taxis. So they don't allow these services to be transacting there, right? Now, let us say ArivuPro is in Goa. Okay, classes. Now, from railway station, I come to the academy place where I'm staying, let's say in private taxi. And he charges 2000. I pay 2000 in cash. Will he give me a receipt? Will he give me a bill? No. But I paid 2000. Yes. Should you reimburse that to me? Should ArivuPro reimburse that to me? Yes or no? But on what basis? Do you pass an entry now? Traveling expenses to cash. Yes or no? You're giving it to me, no? Boss, if you don't give it to me, I won't come. You have to give it to me, I'll come. Okay, convenience charges. Fine. What's the evidence? Witness, even in the recent morning, 4 o'clock. So for every transaction, you will go taxi driver. Hello. 2000, huh? Yes, next. So every day you will do this. Now, I'm not the only faculty, no. There are many faculties. So for every transaction, you take evidence. Then on what basis you will pass this entry? Huh? Trust basis. Oh, so tomorrow I'll put 4000. If it is trust basis, I'll put 4000 tomorrow. Take photo of giving cash to driver, sir. Eyewitness. So I have to carry one person with me every time I go. Don't worry, I have more transactions like this. Very good. Very good. Absolutely right. Materiality doesn't even come into the picture now. I'll come to that. I wanted that answer. I'll come to that. He says, sir, for the distance covered, we'll have an average price. Fine, sir. I'll come to that point, but let me solve this 2000 case now. Now, 2000 rupees I have given, you will create one voucher. One voucher book will be there where the receiver has to sign and the giver also has to sign, and there will be a person who will approving that. So there will be 3 signatures. Isn't that good enough evidence that the entity has approved expense of 2000? If entity is okay with it, why should I have a problem? जब मियां बीबी राजी तो क्या करेगा काजी? So if they are okay with paying 2000, I can't. You have paid more. You have paid more. Arey boss, I want to pay more. What is your problem? No problem. Okay. Second case. Outside one tea stall is there. For all the faculties, I'll tell him 5:30 in the evening you have to come and give tea. Let us say there are 10 faculties. One faculty in one class will drink 2 cups of tea. Okay. 10 faculties are there. So per day how many cups? 20 cups. Into, let us say we work for 360 days. Shakuntala Devi's calculator you have? You have 720 cups. Let us say 1 cup is 12 rupees. Anybody from Abacus? 8,640. 86,400, which is why take calculator in theory papers also. 86,400 rupees. Do you have evidence? What a potty guy will put one billing machine there. 12 rupees take. No. 86,400 per year. Where is the evidence? So I have to go inside the stomach. Every person, faculty, stand in line. Open your stomach. Yeah, main faculty understand. Hey, understand everything. Can we do that? Logically, how do we check this particular transaction now? So you will go and ask him in April month how many cups of tea per year. You go to the tea shop and ask her on April month, next April you're auditing. Previous May you're asking, last May, ನೆನಪಿದ್ಯಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಪ್ ಟೀ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ ಓದ್ತೀಯಾ ಇವಾಗ because he's busy doing his business. Why will he bother answering your questions? I'm getting CC camera. Very good. That fellow shop only is so small. If you put CC camera, no, the camera will be on the road. There are many business entities where there are people who do not have a shop. They give services like this. They sell tea, cycle.
They come here.
Very good. They'll come here. I'll ask them. ನೀವು ಟೀ ಕೊಡಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀನು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು. And every faculty come here and have tea in front of camera. Cheers. Logically, you answer possible.
No.
Which is where again voucher comes into the picture. Let us say now I go out to audit in Jaipur, Rajasthan. There, for them the rickshaw concept is different. Okay, the rickshaw concept is like tanga is what they call there. Right. Horse, bullock cart. I mean, imagine these type of. Now you're traveling through that. What bullock cart will give a voucher outside? From here to here we travel. Take. No. How do you vouch these type of transactions? Now coming back to your doubt, sir, we will know from this distance to this distance this much they charge. Morning 4 o'clock you reach. Same person, if you travel during the daytime, minimum he will take. Simple example, from here, if you have to go to Jayanagar metro station, 100 is very less. These rickshaw drivers just tell one lucky number in 3 digits. They have an algorithm. Their algorithm is 3 digits you have to tell. So once I went, daily I used to go. So once I asked how much, he said 150 rupees. He said, I said, boss, meter hakadre 62 rupayi agutte. He simply went. Didn't even bother to respond. I am calling, hello, bada, hogi. Now, don't they tell random amount? Now we know, imagine one random person says 150, no, 140 final. That is not even bargaining. If your mom is there, she'll bargain for 15 rupees also. Her depreciation comes back to 90% directly. Then appreciation starts. Now you board that rickshaw, you go there, you pay 140 rupees. But distance covered is 2 kilometers. Reimburse. Tell, no. Who gives 140? Foolish. We don't give like that. Which is why in some of the entities, there is policy. If you are staying in a hotel, we will sponsor only rupees up to 1,000. Anything more than that, you put. Anything less than that, you save. We will give 1,000 rupees. Similarly, while traveling, we give 5,000 rupees. Anything more than that, you want business class tickets, you book. But we will give how much? But some will have policy, actually we will pay. Am I getting my point? So these are all policies coming out of practicalities. So 100% evidence we will not receive. Don't talk. Nobody talks. If you want to talk, open the door and go. No issues. Clear? Now, second transaction, what did we wanted to discuss? Entries should be supported by. That's why they never said this evidence only. Sufficient and appropriate evidence. So who takes the call? Not management. Who audits? So who takes a call? Auditor will take a call whether that evidence is enough or no. If it is not enough, it's your call to ask for more evidence. Yes. Logic behind that algorithm, greed. Basically greed. Because I've seen especially in this city, if there is festival, they ask for more.
Yes.
For what fun, I don't know. Morning time after 9:30, rates are extravagant. Once I was traveling in auto, sir, Varma Lakshmi Habba, adike 10 rupayi ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆ? There's no logic, but they simply ask. Differ from vehicle use based on that price you can fix it. You can, but whatever logic you are fixing, it will be difficult for you only to follow. Because handling a lot complicated logic with small crowd is easy. But when you scale your business and you have 1,000 employees, 2,000 employees, now starts your problem. how to fix this particular scale, which is why they put one uniform policy. We will give so much. I have seen in many entities where they'll fix room rental as so much. It is up to you whether you want to stay in 5-star hotel or no. Clear? Food allowance is there, right? Travel allowance is there. Petrol allowance is there. For my father in his factory, petrol was free. Mobile bill free. Now, they just reimburse the actual cost. They don't put any cap. Right? In that case, probably misuse may happen. But if you're putting a cap, then you are trying to save your money and not the other person's. That is his choice. Clear? Uniform prices, sir. Now, yes, that's again your particular decision whether I have to keep it uniform or no. Banks, when we go for bank audits, our money is paid by bankers. They put a cap. If you are a partner in the firm, your travel is up to this particular amount. If you are staying in a hotel, 5-star hotel, this is the amount. So per partner they fix. Now in our case, no, my wife is also CA. She's also a partner. We are partners in the firm. So when we used to go for audits, no, they say 5,000 per partner. So for us, it will be 10,000 per couple. So we book executive suite in 5-star hotel, which comes up to 7,000, 8,000 per night. Because per partner, no. So otherwise, your executive level will reduce. So it's only 5,000 per night per partner they give. According to that, how many ever days you're staying, you stay. Cab is free. Pick up and drop is free. Now for that matter, shopping expenses I can't add. Clear? Now comes my next point. Let us say you go to audit in Australia. Where do you go? Flight ticket who will give? Company will give. Very good. Whoever is appointing, they'll reimburse. They'll only. But how is food completely business? Isn't it personal also? Only business expenses should be claimed in P&L, no? Those tools? Only business expense should be claimed in P&L. Right? Travel business expense? Yes. Audit. So you will put in P&L saying travel charges. Food? Huh? What if he faints and all, sir? But isn't it used for personal purpose also? The food that you're eating, aren't you spending the energy on personal purpose also? Proportion is more, that's why. But in your income tax, you can still give proportion, no? Huh? Income tax? They are stingy people. Okay. Now, if let's say you're going out on this particular work, now you are mixing your personal life also there. If you're mixing personal and professional life there, how do you actually reimburse these type of expenses? Judgment you take 50% business, 50% professional. Then?
Set a limit. So we'll give you this much amount, you spend all of it.
Right. If you set a limit, then it is easy. But if you say you just go on an urgent basis, whatever expenses there, we'll reimburse. There, imagine from your hotel to one shopping point, you take a rickshaw. That money? Reimbursed? Reimbursed? This is where your intention will come into the picture. Technically, we should not even claim that. Why? Not for professional. Now imagine you go to Australia, you buy one Louis Vuitton shoes, bag, Gucci belt. Okay, full branded shopping you do. All that bill you'll put it in audit?
No.
Nanage audit ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ brand ಬೇಕು. Motivation. So you'll put that in P&L. Basic requirement can be claimed as business expense. Now, isn't that a reasonable call? Sir, not even reasonable call, sir. What is Louis Vuitton bag, shoe and all for audit? What are you doing? Not relevant. Clear? Wherever possible, try to bifurcate. Wherever it is very difficult, theoretically you can say put a percentage, but practically it is very difficult. That's what I'm telling you. What you learn and what you do, there is a huge gap. Now, income tax, there is one provision where fuel expenses 70% business, 30% personal. How do you know? In fact, I'll put a practical case in front of you. Don't talk, anyone. Don't talk. Practical case I'll put in front of you. Now, the practical case has been used in one movie called Tiri. Vijay's. In Hindi also it is dubbed. Samantha, Radhika. Radhika is his mother. Now imagine you have a vehicle. For those who do not know, I'm explaining, okay? You have a vehicle. Now you are going to your office. On the way, some personal work is there. Okay? Now you drop your to-be person or your mother on the way you drop. And then you go to office. Didn't you merge personal and business both? Where do you claim this expense now? No. From this kilometer to this kilometer, petrol used for person, I will not claim. Or will you claim everything? Practically you claim everything. Why? This is not one day transaction. No. Every now and then when you do this, imagine now you have a family. You have to drop your kids. Kids' school timing is 9 o'clock. Your duty timing is 9 o'clock. And you'll tell on the way I'll drop. On the way you have to take one small 100-meter return income. You'll sit and calculate every year. You sit and calculate how much mileage my vehicle will give. For 100 meters, how many kilometers I've covered, how much is the cost. You won't do that. Whereas theoretically it is possible, practically
It's not possible.
not practicable at all. You won't do it. Because 365 days you have to do it. Are you getting my point? Which is why we cannot do it. And we end up saying we will put everything as business only. Classic example is your telephone bill payment. Bifurcate. Business calls and personal calls. All your voice call, video calls. All this bifurcate and tell how much you have used it for personal, how much you have used it for business. Can you? No way. Internet. Office internet. When you start an articleship, you'll know. Papa, your principal is paying every month that data charge is there. Here you are going and browsing YouTube, Instagram.com, downloading RTP, MPP free, downloading YouTube videos. But who's paying the charges? And what will he consider it as? So which is why we can't give absolute assurance, because there is a lot of practical difficulties involved in the audit. Understood? This is just a cream layer of difficulties that we face in audit. So what we study and what we do, there is a huge difference. Theoretically, everything is possible. Practically, very difficult to bifurcate. Unless it is possible for you to bifurcate, do it. Otherwise, don't do it. Sir, every day, out of 10 hours of work, 3 hours I spend on personal purpose. There you can put, when you know it is very sure, when you're certain that out of 10 hours, 3 hours I use it for personal purpose, you can say 30% of the entire expense is for personal. But if it is not, will you sit and do everyday detailing? No. So you'll ultimately put it in what? Business purpose. Clear? Then none of the entries in the books of accounts should be omitted, and none of the entries which is not there should find a place. Meaning, simple rule, what is not there should not sit, what is there should not go out. Meaning, if I am auditing for financial year 2021, that means April 2020 to March 2021. Any transaction between April to March should not go out, and anything which is before April and after March should not come and sit here. That is what I have to check. This is called as cutoff procedures. We should not let anything beyond March to sit in financial statements. We should not let any April or before April transaction should come and sit in the financial statements, and any transaction which is already there in the financial statement should not go out of the transactions or go out of the books of accounts. Clear? Now in your mind there could be one doubt. What about? What is AS4? Events occurring after? Sir, what about that then? Which is why standard clearly says two types of events. Adjusting and non-adjusting, sir. And you know that adjusting event means nothing new has happened. Event has already occurred. It's just giving evidence for us. Whereas this non-adjusting event, we will never put it in the current financial statements. Clear? And that particular principle comes from this particular point. Clear? Next. Fourth one, information conveyed by the statement should be clear and unambiguous. What do you mean by unambiguous here? Should not confuse people. Now, classic example, going back to your basics, we are not doing any intermediate level auditing now. We're going back to your PUC basics and foundation basics. Entry, you have to support me here now. Entry for purchase return. Journal entry for purchase return. Oh, do one. Then give me entry for purchases. Purchases to Shabash. Purchase return entry.
Bank to purchase.
Bank to, or can I say bank, cash, creditors to purchase. Okay. To purchases or purchase return? Purchases? Purchases?
Purchase is actually a debit balance, purchase return as credit.
Correct. Okay, sir. Technically, if you see, we have to pass it for purchases. But since everything is including purchases, it's difficult for us to bifurcate. Clear? Generally, purchases are more than purchase returns. I hope you understand that. There will be no entity where purchase return is more than purchases. Not possible. It either should be less than that or equal to. You can't have more purchase return when you have not purchased only. Are you getting my point? But it is very difficult for us to identify which entry is purchase return. So we create a different ledger. We create a different ledger called purchase return and we give effect in the new ledger called purchase return. Tell me, purchase as which balance? Purchase return as? Right, sir. That means both should go to trading account. Where will purchase come here? Two purchases, correct? Where will purchase return come? Huh? Tell me logically here. Isn't it, if it has a credit balance in trading account, shouldn't it sit here? Yes? Yes or no? But technically seeing, credit side of trading account stands for what? Income, revenue and stock available, right? So actually if you see, purchase return is nothing but stock only, no? But do we ever show the credit side of trading account purchase return? Then what do? We reduce here, we say purchase return and then we show net purchases. Isn't it same thing with sales? Yes or no? We show net sales here. Why are you showing this, sir? Why can't you put on the debit side? Debit side of trading account shows expense. Is sales return an expense?
But we are deducting it. It's an opposite.
You're reducing here. But I am telling you, if you show on the debit side of the trading account, aren't you actually considering it as an expense? Can you show it as an expense? Is it an expense in the first place? If it is not an expense, how are you showing it as an expense? Are you getting my point? To give reverse effect, you can't give it to sales, so you create a new ledger. But we cannot show on the debit side, so we show it as an adjustment as reduction from the actual sales, and then we show net sales. This is the second adjustment. Third adjustment, which is a classic adjustment. Imagine you have debtors of 10,000 rupees. Okay, you created a provision of 1,000. Entry for provision. P&L 2. Very good, sir. That means in P&L, it will come provision for bad debts. 1,000. Huh? Opposite, huh? Opposite, huh? No, I don't know. You are accounts expert. I am audit expert. I don't know anything about accounts. I just follow your footsteps. Next, in balance sheet, what is the debtor balance? Huh? It is 10,000. Provision should come here as. Is it a liability? No. But is it a loss? Yes, expected loss. It is not a liability, it is a loss, but that loss is not actual loss, so it can't sit in P&L. It can't affect my P&L directly. So what I do, that is why when you create provision, you never touch debtors here. Have you seen it is P&L to provision? Never you touch debtors. Which means actually your debtor balance is 10,000 only. You are expecting it to be bad. He is not bad. It's your expectation that is making him bad. So to show the user that your expectation that he is going to be bad, here you will reduce provision for bad debts 1,000 and then you show 9,000 in net figure and not on the liability side. Understood? Clear? When he actually becomes bad, now what is the entry? Provision for bad debts to debtors 1,000. Now you will never show this provision. Automatically only 9,000 you will show out. Which means when you create provision, you never touch the debtor. Why? Provision is for your safety. He told, little doubtful sir to pay, but he never said I will not pay. No, you assumed he will not pay, so you created provision, but he never said that, which is why you don't touch debtor there. Understood the basics here? Yes. So that means here any entry, whatever you are showing, should be clear and unambiguous. Understood? Can we understand one more entry to be more clear about this concept? No talking here. I want just one answer from you, honestly, because it's a wonderful transaction that we're going to enter. A Limited purchased B Limited. Who is the purchasing company? Who is the selling company? Okay. Now, who has to pay to whom? A Limited has to pay to what is called as purchase consideration. Let us say 10 lakhs. Okay. 10 lakhs. A Limited has balance sheet. Already 10 lakh shares of 10 each. How much is the total share capital? 100 lakhs already they have. Now they have to pay 10 lakhs, but A Limited does not have money. So they say, we will disperse this PC in shares. Clear? We don't have money, boss. We have shares. We will give you shares. So additional 10 lakh shares given to whom? B Limited. That means the current share capital after purchasing B Limited. What is the current share capital after purchasing B Limited? Old 10 lakhs is there. Plus new 10 lakh is there. Yes, 10 lakh worth of shares. That means total 20 lakh shares of rupees, 10 each. What is the total amount? 200. Very good. Let's go to notes. Notes to accounts. Number 1, share capital. You write equity share capital. Now tell me, this original 10 lakh share is there? No, this one. You received cash? Entry? Bank account debit to. Very good. So you have bank account of 100 lakhs. Whereas here, how much is your bank account? 100 lakhs only. Why? Did you issue this for cash or for consideration other than cash? What is that consideration other than cash? You purchased business. Right? But who knows about this? Everyone knows. Why? When you purchase business, you will tell everyone, we have purchased business. But how will users understand this? So in notes to accounts, you will write here 200 or 20 lakh shares of rupees 10 each, 200 lakhs in bracket out of the above. Do you remember? Remember? Out of the above, 10 lakh shares were issued for consideration other than cash. Otherwise, you are telling people that I have 200 lakhs share capital, but only 100 lakhs in bank account, which is confusing people now. Which is why in notes to accounts, you give disclosure that, correct boss, 200 lakhs I have. But out of that, 100 lakhs I received cash. 100 lakhs I have not received cash. I have received business. Understood? Which is why in amalgamation, you pass an entry, business purchase account debit. It's not bank account debit. It's business purchase account debit. And to nullify that business purchase, next entry will be assets account debit to liabilities account. Balancing figure will be either goodwill or capital reserve. Why? This information is very important so that it is unambiguous for users to understand. Understood? Users, understood? Clear? Okay, sir. So this is your point number 4. Information should be clear and unambiguous. Then, financial statements amounts are properly classified, described, and disclosed as per accounting standard. Let's take one example. Very good example. Focus. Yes, online your answers are right. Let us say inventory valuation. What is the right valuation method in inventory? Sorry? Cost or NRV? Whichever is higher, huh? Whichever is lower. Already high on audit. Whichever is lower. Correct. NRV we get. Cost we have to find, no? What is the method to find cost of inventory? FIFO, LIFO, simple average. Wonderful. Is LIFO used? Not there. Why? I knew you will tell some law. Whatever question you ask, you put on laws for it. Nininda. Neen heliddu. Accounting standard 2 is telling, sir. But you have to understand why accounting standard 2 is telling. No, think from a lawmaker's perspective. Yes, imagine LIFO means what? Last year. Now this is April month inventory. This is May month inventory. Okay, and this is June month inventory. LIFO means what? June month inventory came, June month inventory went. Then July month came, these people will tell, what am I doing here? You have purchased me, but you're not selling me. What is the purpose of me staying here? This inventory is spoiled. Which means users' money you have invested. And waste. So they said LIFO is not most practical method. FIFO is practical method. But first in, first out. See, in malls and all supermarkets, you'll see first in, first out only. Why? I'll give you a tip next time you try to apply it. Whenever first in, first out method is there, whenever you're buying something from new stock, buy from the last row. Because last row items are fresh. First 2-3 rows items are old stock. By read the batch number and manufacturing date, you will get to know. First in, first out method. First which came in will go first, which is why they keep it in the first few rows. But can we use weighted average method? Yes, AS2 allows us to use weighted average method. Yes, absolutely right. Now, where can we use weighted average method, sir?
Different prices.
Different price, different lots. Okay. Let us assume one example. Now, is this bottle half filled? Yes, still here water is there. That means half empty, no. Now, this is old stock. Okay. Now, I will add new stock of water here. Do FIFO and give. Huh? Can you do it? But same water bottle, if I pack in the bottle and give you, can you do FIFO? Yes. Imagine this is petroleum tank in petrol pump. They can't follow FIFO. What the last petrol? Last stock? Okay, you go first. No, because the moment level comes down, they add more petrol to the same tank which is mixing with old stock. They have to use weighted average only. But if you can separate the stock, you can use FIFO or weighted average. But most practical for petroleum and all is, why I cannot separate the stock, it is mixed. In these cases, it's always better to use Chinese restaurant you have gone. Extra fried rice, extra noodles and all they'll keep in one bowl. Have you seen roadside gobi? All posh people, huh? You have seen, no, they'll extra thing which is already cooked, they'll keep it in one bowl. When new customer comes, They'll not give this. They'll mix it with the new stock. Then they'll give their FIFO. You can't. You can't say this Go BPs came first. This Go BPs came next. You have to mix. I cannot separate the inventory there. Clear? So wherever separation is not possible, it is advised that you can follow. Why? It's not possible for me. Understood? So wherever possible, you should properly classify it. Sir, what is classification? Assets should be classified as proper assets. For example, debtors. What's the classification of debtors? Huh? Current or non-current? Debtors are current or non-current? Depends on what?
On the NR.
Depending on the aging of the debtor. Fine, sir. Let us go away with do away with this confusion. Plant and machinery. Pepe. Tangible. Under non-current tangible. Hey, why do you put all these here? Everything asset only, no, one side only you put.
Because they will, they will provide us the benefit for a longer period than those which are in current.
Correct, boss. Debtors also is asset. Yes. Loans and advances given. Asset. Closing stock. Put everything in asset side only. No, why are you telling non-current asset, current asset? Leave all these things.
Because of the time for which they
Because users have to understand that this is my inventory, this is my fixed asset, this is my intangible, this is my tangible, which means you have to properly classify first. Then describe properly in notes to accounts. In balance sheet, you will just put sundry debtors. Yes or no? But where is the explanation given? Notes to accounts. There don't you give aging? Up to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6 to 9, 9 to 12, etc. Describe properly. Share capital, describe in the notes to accounts properly. Clear? Disclosed in the conformity with accounting standard. Every AS ends with disclosure. If you observe. Almost 90% of the AS says at the end, disclose it properly. Change in accounting policy. Can I change? Yes. If I change, should I disclose? Change in the method of depreciation, should I disclose? Yes. Change in the valuation of assets, should I disclose? Yes. Changes in foreign currency, should I disclose? Yes. Everywhere disclosure is given. Why? Transparency. Transparency is most valuable for investors. You tell them what you're doing, whether they understand or not, that is secondary. 90% of the investors don't even know what the company is doing. Retail investors I'm talking about. How many of you have invested in stocks? Very good. How many of you know what the company is doing exactly? Exactly. You just know their core business. You do not know their debtors. You do not know their creditors. You have no idea about what they're doing. I'll tell you what retail investors are bothered about. There are two types of retail investors. One, who are bothered about dividend. Second, one who are bothered about increase in the stock price, which is called as capital appreciation. Then comes a third type of investors who are really bothered about what company is doing. These come under the domestic institutions, foreign institutions. Although they have wealth appreciation also, but they know what company is doing. They read annual report. They read the auditors report. Then they start investing more or disinvesting. Clear? So we need to tell our users that this is how our transactions are shaped up. Next, the statement of accounts presented true and fair picture. Focus here. Why true and fair? Why can't I give true and correct? Huh? Because of reasonable assurance. When we can't give absolute assurance, how can we tell true and correct? So true and fair view has a lot of limitations, which is why we end up only with true and fair view. In examination, they'll ask you this question. They may give you a case, and the requirement will be the auditor is expected to give true and correct view. Comment. We cannot give true and correct view ever, because this true and correct view is nothing but certification, you cannot certify everything is true. Why? Because everything is not true. It can't be. If you remove all the provisions, then yes. But can you remove all the provisions? Why? Not prudence concept, because of your accounting standard. Your AS 29 says create provisions. Your AS 29 says create contingent liabilities. Show it as disclosure. When AS is forcing me to create provisions even if I do not want, can my auditor give true and correct view? Absolutely not. Clear? Understood? So there are 6 things that I need to think before I start my audit. What is that? Number 1. Quick, revise. Number 1. Yes, the accounts should be drawn with reference to books of accounts. Number 2. The entries in the books of accounts are adequately supported by. Number 3. None of the entries. Yes, next. Should be clear and next. Described, classified, described, disclosed as per accounting standards. And last one, true and fair view. Understand this statement. The CEO should not be misleading. And these are the 6 points. Clear? First one, E, entries. Second one, E, evidence. So E square. Third one, none of the entries has been omitted. So we come for O here. Fourth one, information is clear and unambiguous. C. Amounts are properly classified. Starts from C, classified, described and disclosed. And last one, true and fair view. That is T. So the CEO should not be misleading. Note it for revision purpose. Meaning, third point is none of the entries. Okay. See, when they say none of the entries in the books of accounts has been omitted in the process of compilation. So, compiling means what? What are you compiling? Business transactions. Business transactions of April to March. Only that. So, even if it is business transaction, you have to cover it. Personal transaction, you have to leave it out. How is it business purpose? So if it is not exactly related to business, then how is it business purpose was? If you say it is not, it is partially business, then give me the bifurcation. It's exactly like how I said fuel expense, telephone expense. If you can bifurcate, put in the business. If you can't bifurcate, then take a call. Now they might consider everything as business. Now you take a call whether I can put as a business or can I bifurcate. If you can bifurcate, then it is good. If you can't bifurcate, then you have to. Hey, one good question. His question is, what if there is an expense which is not completely related to business? What should I do with that? Any transaction which is not entirely business expense, but somewhat related to business. Materiality doesn't come into the picture for management purpose because they have to enter everything that has happened. Materiality is for us. Now, in income tax, there was one case law. I don't know if it is already discussed. Shanti Bhushan case law. Don't know. Now, in that case law, this lawyer had spent on his heart surgery some amount. That amount he claimed as business expense. In the court, he argued that I use heart for argument purpose, which is my profession. So that expense, I am claiming it as business expense, which was disallowed. Judge told, be shocked. From where did this come as business expense? So judge asked, if you are claiming it as a capital expenditure, what is the cost of the asset? Do you have a cost of a heart? Not possible. What is the WDV of the asset? When cost is not possible, WDV is not possible. Then the judge asked, okay, then tell me, that means after you finish argument, where do you keep your heart? Like you don't use it for personal purpose. Now this transaction is mixed, but which is more relevant here? Using it as a business expense or personal? Are you getting my point now? So logic you have to use. Auditing is a totally logical process. This is one subject where there is no formula. You will see going forward everywhere they'll tell auditor's call, professional judgment, professional judgment, professional judgment. It is all our judgment. Why? Who has logic? More than management, we use logic. Why? We have more technical knowledge there. Understood? One question that can be asked here. Write the reference question number, exam questions. Question number 1 and 2. Sir, should we know AS law and tax basics for auditing? Of course. You should know. Without knowing this, what will you go and check? Checking is what I have already done. So I should know what I have done now to check. I have one more basic question can I ask? Just now I told you we are not preparing financials. It is management who is preparing financials. Then why are you learning financials? Only when we know we can find out to correct. When we are internal auditors, again in internal auditor we don't prepare. The thing is, it's not every auditor who will audit, no. I can appoint an auditor as accountant also. Number one. Number two, not everything management will understand. Consolidation management may not understand. Yes. Inter-branch transaction, they may not understand. Yes. So we have to do it to understand how to correct it. If you don't know the basics, how will you correct the errors? Which is why you learn everything right from scratch. Clear? Because you have a role to play in preparing the accounts as well as checking the accounts. Many of their CAs, they do accounting services as well. But if you're doing accounting services, you're not supposed to do auditing services. Clear? Question number 1 and 2, you have to study this tomorrow, right? Next particular aspect, objectives. Very important. For the entire subject, this objective is important. Sir, only we knew we can find error, correct? We should know the process, sir, from the exam point of view. No, not from the exam point of view, ma. What is to be noted? Question number 1 and question number 2, you noted. Exam question, behind the chapter I have given exam questions. Question number 1 and question number 2 is related to the aspects. Right. Only 2 objectives. Focus, very important topic now. Right there, right above objectives. This is the objective of audit. This is the objective of audit. This is the objective of audit. So only 2 objectives we have. Why am I asking you to write is, later on when we start our standards, every standard has objective. But that is the objective of auditor. This is the objective of audit. Just one or difference. Your answer will change. So if they ask you what are the objectives of audit, now the best part is if you go and open your module, no, you will find 1.5 page explanation for this. Technically only 2 points they are talking. But then there is one paragraph called analysis of this. There they have given on 5-6 points. You open RTP, same copy paste there. But the point is, what they have given as analysis is nothing but a mix of objectives and limitations, which what we have already discussed. Clear? So, tomorrow if you have a doubt, sir, in material they have given so much. You have given Dama Tundu 2 points. Which one should I follow? You may follow this, you may follow that. Logic I have already covered in class. Clear? You are free to follow any material that you are comfortable with. But once you have started referring to a particular material, kindly stick on to that. Don't keep on changing colors. Once this, once that, then some other book, then some other book, then you are lost. So once you have stuck to one book, go with that only. Clear? Or if you want, you can compare what I have missed out. Clear? Some of the things you have to do as a homework, which I will start giving after first class. Right? You have to do something and come, no. Simply coming here, sitting, good, nice example, and go home and sleep. Some homework I will start giving, right? Now, two objectives. One is obtain reasonable assurance. We have already covered this in engagement, but we'll talk more about it. Second objective is to now it is not only to report and communicate. Reporting is my objective, but not only reporting. I have to communicate as required by SA in accordance with my findings, meaning whatever I have found, my mistakes or their mistakes. Whose mistake I have to find, I have to communicate? My mistake I'll tell. Are you getting my point? Clear? I am supposed to see their mistake and I am supposed to communicate to whom? To users. Now, in your mind, the moment users come into the picture, now you will think about shareholders, stakeholders. It could be government, society as a large. Clear? Regulators, SEBI, RBI. Basically, whoever wants this information, we are supposed to communicate it to them. So, second point is very clear. We are supposed to report. First point, we understood that we have to obtain reasonable assurance. What is assurance? We should also have confidence, no? To tell others, we should also be confident, no, this company is good. So for that, shouldn't we do more procedures? Simple question I'll ask you. If you want more confidence to write the answers, should you study more or study less? Study more. So to tell others that you can write this question, do you need more confidence? Yes. More confidence requires more studies. Clear? So we have to obtain reasonable assurance about what? Whether the financial statements as a whole, this term is very important, financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Stop here. Don't read further. Just stop here and try to understand first half of the objective. What is the objective? Obtain reasonable assurance. About what? About financial statements. Tell me, can the financial statement have mistakes? Yes. Will it have? Yes. Can you reduce the risk to zero? No. That means you have to reduce the risk. But can you eliminate the risk? Absolutely not. So risk cannot be eliminated. This is one of the basics you have to understand now only. Like for example, you're taking two-wheeler. What is the risk? Accident may happen. What are the precautions you're taking? You'll wear helmet, you'll wear arm guards, shin guards. Does that eliminate the risk of accident?
No.
Reduces the impact. But you can't eliminate the risk. Clear? So I can't say that financial statements will not have mistakes at all. Mistakes will be there. But that mistake should not be so material that people will start taking their money out of the company or out of the entity. That is called material misstatements. For example, in your life, when you are doing CA, did people comment on you? Yes or no? Very normal misstatements. But is it important? No. But the same comment, if it is coming from your parents, material. So we have to see, errors will be there. Errors will be there. It should not be material. Sir, let us take one transaction. One transaction I will take, bank account debit, 1 lakh rupees. No, I'll put it as credit. Let us make it payment. Bank account 1 lakh. What does this mean? Huh? Payment made to Karthik. Now, isn't this wrong? Imagine Karthik is a director. Not director, partner. Business money paid to partner. Wrong or right? Personal purpose. Huh? But it is not drawings. It is not drawings. Permanent withdrawal of capital. Oh, you're considering withdrawal of capital. No, no, it's not withdrawal of capital. Look at the now assumption starts developing slowly. Are you getting my point? Now, is this error or fraud? Is this error or fraud? It's employee benefit expense. I'm not an employee. What is the difference between error and fraud? Just one thing, intention. Knowingly if you do, fraud. Unknowingly if you do, error. So there is absolutely no difference apart from one, intention. So here when I check, this 1 lakh rupee are paid to partner, but on what basis? Imagine this was supposed to be paid to creator. And partner told, I will make the payment, you put it in my account. So it was paid to Karthik. Now Karthik forgot to make the payment to creator. Obviously. Now, is it practical?
Yes, sir.
Partner forgot to make the payment? Yes. At the end of the year, creator is not yet paid. But in the books of accounts, what they have shown? Paid to creator in this narration. But is Karthik a creator? No, Karthik is a partner. If you have paid it to creator, Karthik should have given loan. Partner should have given loan. There is no trace of it. But there is payment given. Repayment done. But for what purpose we do not know. Error or fraud. To find this, we sit with the partner. We sit with an accountant and partner and see what is this 1 lakh rupees. Because who gave us this data, sir? So we have to sit with management only. So they will tell, no, I am so sorry, I was supposed to pay to the creditors. Now when managed partner says this, you tell me what will you decide, error or fraud? Huh? I want basis also. Just saying error or fraud is not enough. Yes, you are right, Vignesh. If someone says someone does intentionally, but they say there's error, how do we find out? Now tell me, same case we are discussing. I told you, I'm so sorry, I was supposed to make payment to the creditor. 1 lakh. Correct. But is there a possibility that he has forgotten also? Oh.
Is he mentally sound, sir?
Is he mentally sound? Yes. See, you need to understand a lot of practicalities there. Now, imagine if this was done by a partner who has no history of fraud. Now you're chameleons only, no? Hypocrites, how do you change your opinion so quickly? Which is exactly how you find out whether it is a fraud or error. Behavioral patterns. But isn't it one of the factors? See, no, not having behavioral pattern and having behavioral pattern, where do you have more clarity? Having a pattern. Now, in the history, if he has done like this, how will it give you confidence that to call this as an error? Imagine you have stolen 1000 rupees on a monthly basis, and in 1 month you didn't steal only. By mistake, that 1000 came into your wallet. What will your parents think now? Thief only, no? Because of patterns. Logic you have to use here. Now I will sit with the partner and say, what happened? Then he'll tell, no, actually he had made payment, but I forgot, I had some emergency. So he'll explain that situation. Now it is up to you. He is explaining his side of the story. You have to put your professional judgment into the picture and then take a call whether this is error or fraud. The only distinguishing line is intention. Clear? Right? So we'll stop here. Tomorrow we continue. But tomorrow when you come, you have to revise these things and come. Clear? First chapter and ethics, we will go a little slow because I want to cover all the basics. Right? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.